We welcome you to the All-State Saturday kickoff on ESPNU. Getting set for the NCAA record 335th consecutive sellout at Memorial Stadium in Lincoln, Nebraska, where the 19th ranked Nebraska Cornhuskers host the 6th ranked team in the FCS, McNeese State, and moments ago they took the field. And with that, we welcome you into the broadcast booth. Adam Amin alongside John Congemi for the second weekend of the college football season. What a first weekend it was for Nebraska. A Big Ten modern era record, 784 total yards of offense. It was a dynamic offensive performance.
What an atmosphere and what a spectacular performance they put on right here in running the football. They were dominant on the ground. They did such a good job of finding ways to get the football to Amir Abdullah, the Heisman Trophy candidate and the nation's leading returning rusher. This is a guy who's a terrific slashing running back. He's a one-cut runner with great vision, and today, Adam, they're going to try to get him the football in space, and that will be a chore for McNeese State, the Cowboys on defense, to try to corral number 8.
And Amir Abdullah, ever the leader, was the one who said, we're not good enough to overlook anybody just yet, which is an interesting thing to say considering that they put up 784 total yards of offense, the second most in Big Ten history, the most in the modern era, and a phenomenal performance by Abdullah, who's probably going to start to get the name into the Heisman race a little bit more. We were a little surprised that more people weren't talking about his performance last week.
Well, I think he raised some eyebrows last year. I mean, this is a guy that had 20 runs of over 20 yards or more in the last couple of years, and I think he started fast, that's for sure. That's an understatement. And he's going to continue getting, the football. He'll be the feature back on this football team, and he'll make this offense go.
Kenny Bell, 6'1" senior from Colorado, one career kick return for a touchdown against Penn State last year. Jean Bro kicks away for the McNeese State Cowboys. And from the 8-yard line, here comes Kenny Bell, hurtling over defenders at the 30-yard line and seeking space. Fantastic return to the 42-yard line. Kelvin Bennett jarred him out of bounds. Good field position for Nebraska to start the day.
Terrific job of fielding the football first and then finding that little wedge, that little gap. But that athleticism, the vision of a wide receiver comes into play in the return game. Terrific start for Nebraska.
On a 35-yard kick return for Kenny Bell and Tommy Armstrong, the redshirt sophomore. It is his team, his club. He is the man after going 7-1 as a starter last year. And on first down, right back to Amir Abdullah. And the goal for Nebraska's offense is to pick up 4 yards at least on every first down. They get about 3.5 on that play. Already a look at our impact players for Nebraska in this game between Amir Abdullah and Kenny Bell making things happen early.
We've had a chance to see both in special teams, Bell and Abdullah on that first carry. Aaron Sam for the Cowboys, he's going to have to be the guy coming down and tackling in space for McNeese State.
Swinging out to Jordan Westerkamp, coming off a career-high 7 catches for 125 yards against FAU. Jarred out by Jermaine Antoine for a short pickup, and it'll bring up third down. Jordan Westerkamp, the sophomore from Illinois, had an amazing behind-the-back catch last week. This guy's got a nose for the football and great hands to do it with.
It was easy. Come on, you practice that all the time.
Tommy Armstrong's his roommate, as a matter of fact. They've got a nice connection.
Love it.
Armstrong off a career-high 271 yards against FAU, besting his previous career high by 98 yards. Option to the right. Trying to put his shoulder down and push the pile, but he looks like he's short by a yard at the 48 of McNeese. And it's going to bring up 4th and short. And let's see what the decision is here early for Bo Pelini's team.
I think you keep your offense on the football field and you use that big offensive line to lean on the Cowboys defense early.
The entire starting offensive line for Nebraska is 290 or bigger. McNeese's starting front four only has one guy over 290. Would you lean on Abdullah right now?
Absolutely. That's why you have him in the backfield.
Play clock down to 2 and a timeout. from the Nebraska sideline. So this is going to be a big play if the offense stays out on the field, regardless if the offense stays out for McNeese State, looking for an early stop.
Well, I know that head coach Bo Pelini wanted to try to use the snap count and draw the Cowboys off sides, but sometimes when you have such a short yard to go, you can put an athletic Tommy Armstrong Jr. under center and just quick count and no cadence, and use that quarterback sneak.
Let's see if they'll lean on Amir Abdullah if the offense indeed does stay out there. Now sitting at 3,200 plus yards, second among active FBS players behind Juwan Edwards of Ball State.
He's just fun to watch. He's fun to watch because he's a slashing running back with great vision. He can take an 8-yard run, make somebody miss in the open field, and turn it into an 80-yard touchdown. That's what he does, and that's what this offense needs. They've cut back on the complexity of the plays that they've run in practice, and they bring it to a Saturday afternoon game. Number 8's going to run that zone read a number of different ways.
The offense stays out there on 4th and 1 with Abdullah in the backfield. And a tight end to the short side of this formation. They'll go to the wide side. Option pitch for Abdullah, and McNeese State jams him for a loss at the 47. Dominique Hill, the safety, the true freshman, forces a 3-and-out on Nebraska's first possession. That's the first negative play for the Nebraska offense all year.
Terrific stand by the Cowboys. I'm not so sure why Nebraska just didn't go straight ahead. They go in the shotgun, and they try to stretch the Cowboys. An unblocked player on the outside, that's Dominique Hill. He comes in, and they use their speed. They pride themselves on their speed, and Nebraska was not going to get the edge that time on 4th down.
It's the first career start at quarterback for the junior Tyler Bolfing, leading the number 6 FCS McNeese State Cowboys on offense, and a 9-yard run for Kelvin Bennett, the new number 1 feature back for the Cowboys on their first play. Bolfing was the presumed starter at the end of spring, but Daniel Sams, the transfer from Kansas State, came into the program, so there was a heavy competition, and we will see both quarterbacks today, according to the coaching staff. Bolfing gets the start.
He gets the start, and he's one of those great leaders. He has a complete understanding of what the offense and what they're trying to accomplish with their scheme.
Ernest Celesti is a 6th-year senior. He's in motion to the slot. A pass play on 2nd and short. And a little bit of miscommunication for the tight end, Zach Hetrick, the sophomore from Baton Rouge. Impact players, John, when McNeese has the ball.
Well, you want to start with Tyler Bolfing. He's the starter, but Daniel Sams, as you mentioned, he's a guy that's going to come off the bench and give you a little bit more movement from the quarterback spot. So I'm interested to see how they're going to use that offensively. And on the defensive side for Nebraska, it's the 2 big guys in the middle, Valentine and Collins. They can push the entire pocket into either quarterback's lap, and they're the strength of this defense up front.
3rd and short. It's a give to Bennett, and he gets stuck shy of the line of scrimmage by David Santos, the junior from Spring, Texas. A little bit of help from Jack Gangwish and Vincent Valentine up front, and it brings up 4th down, and let's see what McNeese decides to do.
I think you go for it. You've got a couple big backs that have transferred in, and you've got Dylan Long. They've got some big backs in there that they can use, see if they can get a crack to get a yard, but I wouldn't use the method that Nebraska did. I would try to go maybe inside the tackles here.
So McNeese forces a 4-and-out.
They're going to have to use a timeout.
And now McNeese, with the offense out on the field on 4th down, has to take a timeout with the play clock running down. They only had 10 men in the huddle, trying to figure out their personnel. An interesting first 3.5 minutes. We'll take a break and see what McNeese does on the other side in their season opener on the road in Lincoln.
ESPNU College Football All-State Saturday Kickoff, brought to you by Allstate. Are you in good hands?
Nebraska native and huge Husker fan Larry the Cable Guy, Dan Whitney for those who know him best, met with McNeese State last night. He's able to talk to this team about striving for their dreams, about having the little guy have a chance against the big guy, and through 3.5 minutes, the little guy is hanging right in there. forcing a 4-and-out, and now has a chance to keep this drive alive on 4th and 1 in Nebraska territory. Nate Holmes is the back, the transfer from Arkansas. Off play action, Bolfing to Holmes for a first down and more inside the 30 and tackled at the 26-yard line. On 4th down, McNeese State keeps the football and moves it a dozen yards after Banderas got the tackle.
That was a terrific job by offensive coordinator Tim Leje. He fakes it in the middle of the football field and gets it outside, uses their speed to Nate Holmes. Banderas was on the coverage but just couldn't keep up. That foot speed of McNeese State offensively so far and defensively really showing through.
Holmes stays in the game. Bolfing drops the shotgun snap, gets it to Holmes. Trying to stretch it to the sideline, and there is some of that Louisiana speed on display for McNeese State as Holmes runs it for 7 yards before Byerson Cockrell ran him down. McNeese State 2 consecutive years has beaten an FBS opponent. They crushed South Florida, a record 32-point victory for an FCS over an FBS team a year ago. 2nd and 3, and a give to Kelvin Bennett. He's close to the sticks near the 16-yard line. Tackled by Vincent Valentine on the interior. 8 wins all time for McNeese over FBS teams. All of those teams were MAC or Sun Belt schools. But in 2008, they played North Carolina to the wire. And for 2.5 quarters in 2010,
16-10.
They stuck with LSU in 2010 and had a shot to take the lead in the 3rd quarter in that game.
I wouldn't be surprised here if you try to move the pocket again on 3rd and short.
They run it. They'll keep it up the middle with Bennett for a first down before Jack Gangwish tripped him up. Gangwish is making the start today for the injured Randy Gregory. Gangwish is a blue-collar guy who's worked himself up the depth chart and never played a snap until last week. He's in there with major snaps with Gregory out this week. First down from just inside the 15 and a stretch to the sideline for Holmes. He is run down immediately on the edge by Nate Gary, the safety. A short pickup.
Nice pace and tempo to the offense for the Cowboys so far. They started with an excellent field position, but now it's up to the Nebraska defense. Are they going to come up with a play? This is a team that has to use speed against speed. This is probably one of the fastest Nebraska defensive units we've seen in years against this Louisiana speed of the Cowboys on offense.
Which averaged 40 points a game last season, 6th in the FCS. And a timeout. Sean Smith, our lead official, and a McNeese State timeout with 9:15 to play in this opening quarter. Let's take a look at John's keys when McNeese has the football.
I think what McNeese is doing now, they started with great field position, but they want to keep that Nebraska offense off the field. They want to keep those playmakers like Abdullah and Armstrong and Bell and Westerkamp, keep them on the sidelines, and that's what they did with that 4-and-out. Nebraska defensively, they have to match speed versus speed, something I was just alluding to. They have the fastest unit on that side of the football in years, but they have to be able to control and harness some of the speed from the Cowboys on offense. That'll be a matchup to watch today.
A good solid opening drive for McNeese State with Tyler Bolfing at quarterback in front of another sellout crowd in a very tough environment on the road. McNeese State's games are played in front of 17,000 people max. This is 87,000 making noise on 2nd and 8. Derek Milton, the transfer from Mississippi State, is the back. It's a jet sweep to the edge. And Ernest Celesti, the transfer from Texas Tech, takes it inside the 10-yard line on the 9th play of the drive. Celesti receiving a 6th year of eligibility, had a lot of injury issues at Texas Tech and never got to play for him. He gets 1 more year at McNeese State.
And he was 1 block away from getting 6 points on the edge. That's a great example of speed. They start him in motion, get him that handoff around the end with a little bit of burst, and he was 1 block away from making this 6-0.
And he had foot surgery last year. He's still very fast. He's at the bottom of the screen. 3rd and 5. Celesti is matched up with a safety. They go up the middle for Milton, and he walks in. The Louisiana native, the transfer from Mississippi State, with his first touchdown as a Cowboy. And just like they did against LSU, McNeese State takes the lead in the opening quarter.
And that was impressive. Full flow to the right side, and then you sneak Calvin Bennett back to the left side. I'm sorry, Derek Milton back to the left side. Terrific scheme on that play. Tim Leahy, the offensive coordinator, feeling it here on that first drive.
Alex Gelston, the transfer from LSU, bangs through the extra point, and a 10-play, 47-yard, 4.5-minute drive has the number 6 FCS team in the country on top.
There's that speed, Louisiana speed. They get great field position, and they have athletes to do it.
McNeese got a stop against Nebraska and needed to keep the Huskers off the field. A 4.5-minute drive for the Cowboys, capped off by a Derek Milton touchdown. The former SEC running back capped it off. 9-yard TD to close out that drive, and just like they did in 2010 against LSU, they take the lead against an FBS team, 7-0 McNeese State. And Matt Viator has done great things since taking over as the head coach in 2006. Midway through that season, 8 years, 8 winning seasons. Celebrated his 51st birthday when we talked to him on Wednesday. 3-time Eddie Robinson National Coach of the Year finalist, including 2013 when this team won 10 games for the first time since 2007. Got a bye in the FCS playoffs, but did lose in the second round to Jacksonville State. Hoping to get back to the playoffs this year out of the Southland Conference, which has a great team in Sam Houston State, whom they beat last year. Jean Bro kicks away, and it will be Kenny Bell from the 7-yard line. Had a good return of 35 his last time. He'll be hit shy of the 30 at the 27 this time. And this is how McNeese State got it going. They stopped Amir Abdullah. That's tough to do.
Well, they started with defense. This was the first negative play for Nebraska this season, and then they get the conversion on 4th down. A nice play action pass to Nate Holmes, and then it was Derek Milton, the transfer from Mississippi State, walking in to the end zone to start the scoring off for the Cowboys.
No play longer than 12 yards on that drive. They chipped away, and the 12-yard play was that 4th down play
action. Conversion, yeah.
So Nebraska's offense back out on the field after a 4-and-out on the first drive. From the 27, Abdullah has a lot of space outside the tackles, and look at Amir Abdullah taking it out to the 46-yard line before Dominique Hill makes the stop. Last week against FAU, outside the tackles, Abdullah was dominant, and he can really get anywhere on the field when he wants to.
Perfect example of using great vision and a slashing running back. He's a one-cut runner, so when he sticks that foot in the ground, he's going to go north and south. Terrific vision on the play.
They bring in Andy Janovich as the fullback and give to the I-back Abdullah on 1st down after the 19-yard run. Will get stopped at the line of scrimmage by Dominique Hill and Kevin Dorn, the inside tackle there, who was tied for the team lead with 5 sacks a season ago. A great story, Amir Abdullah, the 9th of 9 children, 3 boys and 6 girls, to Kareem and Aisha in suburban Birmingham, Alabama. Huge Auburn fan growing up, but the SEC wanted him as a defensive back, not as a running back.
I think he's doing pretty well at the running back position.
Decent. Over the middle, the crossing pattern complete to Kenny Bell for a 1st down into McNeese State territory. Hit at the 40-yard line by Brent Spikes, the safety, on a 14-yard pickup. Kenny Bell trying to become the first Nebraska receiver to lead them in receptions 4 consecutive years.
Simple pitch and catch, good vision by Armstrong, and a good secure catch by Bell.
Terrell Newby, who had a great game last week against FAU, checks in for Abdullah in the backfield. His first career 100-yard game last week, the sophomore out of Los Angeles. A pass play on 1st down from the 40. Newby threw a block. Westerkamp dove but could not haul it in. A little bit too long for Jordan Westerkamp from his roommate Tommy Armstrong Jr. Incomplete, 2nd down.
Nice concept on the play. A little double move by Westerkamp. He was in the slot to the short side. Gave a little stutter and go, and Tommy just missed his roommate.
Amir Abdullah will check back into the game. Another pass play on second down. Good coverage downfield, and Kenny Bell on an option route ended up coming back to the ball, and the toss was too long again. 3rd and 10.
Let's credit that coverage. That was terrific coverage by Jermaine Antone, the transfer from TCU. He was all over Kenny Bell to the short side of the field. So now the Cowboys, another opportunity to come up big on 3rd down.
Bell to the bench. It's a deep wide receiving core for Nebraska. They might need him on 3rd and 10. It is a pass play. And Armstrong zips one for Westerkamp. Touchdown, Nebraska. They dropped a bunch back in coverage, and Armstrong found a free Westerkamp.
Armstrong didn't miss him that time. That was a perfect strike to the wide side of the field. And credit Jordan Westerkamp. He was able to get separation behind the Cowboys defense.
Drew Brown, 7 for 7 on the season in his freshman year on PATs. Jordan Westerkamp coming off a career week, and he and his roommate Tommy Armstrong hook up a touchdown to tie the game in this first quarter.
Final play of the game. Brown waiting for the wideout to get downfield. Launches the throw down toward the goal line, going up. Ball tipped in the air. Touchdown! Jordan Westerkamp. Nebraska wins the game on the final play of the contest. Oh, baby! Armstrong for Westerkamp again. Westerkamp's a magician.
His dad Robert, a football player at Illinois. After a solid freshman season, especially towards the end, he has broken out early this year. Already 2 touchdown catches and 3 for his career. A 40-yard reception for a score from his roommate Tommy Armstrong Jr. to tie this game at 7.
Does such a nice job of really opening himself up to a quarterback. You know, we talked about the relationship, they're roommates, but they know each other, and he does such a nice job of giving open windows to throw the football in.
Moro Bondi went 7 of 10 on touchbacks last week, and Nate Holmes will be forced to take a knee to the 25-yard line. John, they dropped a lot back in coverage. Armstrong found a lane.
They really did. Armstrong did such a good job of finding him, but Westerkamp's here, and all he's going to do is split the defenders down the field. It's bracket coverage, but no one has deep coverage. They both level off, and when you have 2-on-1 and you're playing the same coverage, speed like Westerkamp has is going to excel by you. You're just going to be able to push the foot down on the accelerator and get by the bracket coverage. So it ends up, you know, a 40-yard touchdown. He had a 36-yarder last week. So this is a guy that can get behind coverage.
Had a great career in high school at Montini in suburban Chicago. They'll stick with Tyler Bolfing after a fantastic drive for McNeese the last time they touched him. And Kelvin Bennett will start in the backfield. Little misdirection. Bennett trying to run left, and he'll get stuck for a loss. And Nate Gary, the safety, was the first man in the backfield there. Zaire Anderson, the outside linebacker, finished it off on a loss of yardage.
Defensive coordinator John Papuchis says that Gary has great vision, but he has great range too. So they can move him from the defensive secondary and put him up to the line of scrimmage, and they have confidence that he can make plays.
Was a high school defensive back who played linebacker last year, now moving to safety, where they've had some injuries and some suspensions. On 2nd and 11, Bolfing to the air, to the sideline, and a nice catch by Bush right in front of Josh Mitchell, one of their top cover corners, for 6 yards to set up a 3rd and more manageable. There have been some suspensions. There have been a lot of injuries in the camp and the early couple of weeks, including Randy Gregory, who was phenomenal last year, and a lot of people think this guy's going to be a top 5 draft pick come next year.
He's done an incredible job of getting his body back for this year, and he had a slight problem. That was an old injury in the left knee. Had it scoped, had it done, it looks like he's going to be back sooner than most people think.
Could be ready for Fresno State next week. 3rd and 5. Four-man pressure, well protected, but incomplete over the middle. Good coverage that time by Daniel Davey against Ernest Celesti, their top target. And this time it's a 3-and-out for McNeese State's offense.
Nice defensive stand that time by the Cornhuskers. They take advantage of getting field position and playing the football. Davey did an excellent job. That was a good throw by Bolfing, but a better play by Daniel Davey.
So here is Jean Bro, junior from Louisiana, and the freshman is back to return, DeMornay Pearson L, who in high school had a 99-yard kick return for a touchdown against T.C. Williams High School of, remember, the Titans fame. This gets down at the 33-yard line. More college football on this Saturday afternoon on ESPNU. First meeting since 2004 between Ohio and Kentucky. Then at 7, college football primetime presented by 5-Hour Energy. Number 21 South Carolina seeking a win as a tough opponent in East Carolina. One of the better offenses last year comes to town. Both games available on Watch ESPN as well.
Can the ball coach bounce back after that loss early in the season? And you get Frank Zolich and another Stoops coaching on the other sideline for the Wildcats in Kentucky.
A lot of connections between Frank Solich in Nebraska and the Stoops and Bo Pelini. Here's Amir Abdullah. And that is 2 negative yardage runs for Amir Abdullah after none last week. That'll bring up 2nd and 12 as he got pushed out at the 30-yard line by Ashari Goins, the true freshman.
That's one thing this Nebraska offense does not want to do, is have those negative plays to put them in 2nd and long.
Yeah.
Too much penetration on that play by McGee, and he's one of those guys that are the bigger guys up front trying to push the pocket.
275-pound sophomore McGee. Armstrong. Routes developing down the field, and a long throw is caught by Jamal Turner. No, incomplete. Diving for it, but it hit the deck, so it'll be 3rd and long. Turner, the senior from Texas, nearly hooked up with Armstrong there.
Yeah, Tommy would like to have that one back because you get a streaking Jamal Turner. He's one of those dynamic players in this offense. Just give him a catchable ball. That was a heck of an effort to go down and try to get that one. Got to be able to hit that, especially when you're looking across the middle at somebody. Square up and throw that one, make it a catchable pass.
Pass situation on 3rd down. Late blitz got picked up, and a perfect throw to the sticks, caught by Tariq Allen for a 1st down. Great recognition by both Armstrong and Allen to know where that 1st down marker is. They needed 13, and they got it.
Perfect timing that time by Tommy Armstrong. He's able to hit that back foot. The ball comes out, and then that right foot dragging inbounds by Tariq Allen.
Imani Cross checks into the backfield. He only had 3 touches last week, but did have a touchdown. They wanted to get him more involved. Armstrong will pull it on the option play, and he's got space down the middle of the field. Inside the 15-yard line. 42-yard run for Tommy Armstrong.
Tommy Armstrong is a great double threat quarterback. He can beat you with his arm, as we've seen so far, and now he beats you up the middle with that zone read. He had 62 yards and a touchdown last week against FAU. That a huge run to keep this offense and keep that momentum going for Nebraska.
1st down from the 14. Here is Cross, pounding his way into the arms of Brian Hine, one of 6 transfers for McNeese State this year. 5 of them are FBS transfers. Short pickup to bring up 2nd down.
I think this is where you attack the middle of the football field. You've got some skilled athletes that can run. You've got Westerkamp in the slot to the top of the screen. I think this is where you try to attack the middle of the football field.
This is tight coverage. All 11 defenders are within about 8 yards of the line of scrimmage here. And Armstrong's going to look right at Westerkamp on the fade route. Incomplete. Aaron Sam had the coverage, and a late flag was thrown. Sam's a very good pass defender, but Westerkamp beat him, and he got caught.
Might have been a good check at the line of scrimmage. Armstrong saw that Sam had inside leverage, so they go to a little smash route to the outside.
Pass interference. Defense, number 21. To follow the curve in the end zone. By rule, the ball will be placed at the 2-yard line, automatic, 1st down.
So 1st and goal for Nebraska.
Look at the inside leverage here, playing inside of Westerkamp. So instantly, as he comes out of the break, he's going to get it. I think they're going to get him for that right arm on the right hip right there.
Yep, looked like he pulled a little bit.
Actually turns the receiver, and that's going to draw a flag.
So here's Amir Abdullah next to Armstrong from the 2. Diving, touchdown. His 3rd of the season. And Nebraska's on top.
Good strong run inside the tackles by Amir Abdullah. And let's credit this offensive line. They did an excellent job pass protecting, and on that play inside the 5, they're able to push some of those white jerseys into the end zone.
Drew Brown adds another extra point after the 21st career rushing touchdown for the senior from Homewood, Alabama. And that was good individual effort by Abdullah by himself just to get back into the end zone.
We always talk about his speed, but talking with head coach Bo Pelini yesterday, we got to hear about his toughness. You know, this is a guy that just doesn't run to the outside. Yes, he's going to get the majority of his yards on the outside, but between the tackles, he can square up those shoulders and run behind those pads really well for a guy that's 5'9".
Take a look at this. Record-setting running back. Leading returning rusher in the country this year, nearly 1,700 yards. All-time, or a current active all-purpose yardage leader right now. 3rd all-time at Nebraska. Closing in on some records. And I think the word Heisman is going to have to, at some point, get thrown out in combination, in concert with the name Amir Abdullah. And we're a little surprised it doesn't get thrown out there more often.
Better get used to using it, because I think the way this season's going to go, you're going to see Amir Abdullah carry the load for Nebraska. He's a guy that can catch it out of the backfield, but he's so good in space that once this offense that's been streamlined a little bit from last season to this season gets rolling and they get comfortable. I think they were pretty comfortable in the opening week against FAU, but against the Big Ten opponents, I think you're going to see a lot of number 8.
Bondi kicks away. Touchback. Well, tonight on ESPNU, Mountain West contest, Air Force taking on Wyoming, presented by 5 Hour Energy, 10:15 Eastern tonight. Wyoming looking for its 3rd 2-0 start in the last 18 years. Air Force had a massive rushing attack last week, as they always do, against Nicholls State, against an FCS team, but a very impressive performance a week ago. This was after week 1. Air Force, Nebraska, the top 2 rushing performances as a team last week. And we'll see the first appearance, speaking of rushing, Daniel Sams, an outstanding running quarterback, the transfer from Kansas State, with his first possession as a McNeese State Cowboy from the 25-yard line. Sams all day, now will take off. Stays on his feet for a 5-yard run. Josh Banderas on the tackle. Really solid year last year at Kansas State for Daniel Sams.
He's a tremendous runner, and he's getting a better feel for what the Cowboys do offensively. But most of the time, you're going to see him drop back, but use his legs. If he doesn't like what he sees, he's going to tuck that football under his right shoulder and try to get it and try to beat you with his legs.
Backed up Colin Klein 2 years ago. Last year, he split the snaps with Jake Waters, but did not play much in the final 3 games.
You may see them move the pocket a little bit more on the outside, little roll action with Sam.
This is a design run to the short side of the field. Not much on the play as Jack Gangwish, blue-collar defensive end, ran him down first. And it will be 3rd down and about 5 to go. Daniel Sams requested a position change. Ended up moving to wide receiver, but was 3rd on the depth chart at the end of spring. So he wanted to transfer and also wanted to be closer to his family. He was born in New Orleans. He's got a couple of uncles who both played for McNeese State, so they granted him his release. And he was immediately eligible at an FCS school this year. He led Big 12 quarterbacks with over 800 rushing yards last year. 3rd and 5. Four-man twist gets picked up, allowing the time for Sams to find Jerrion McGilvery, but he is hit right at the sticks. This is going to depend on the spot.
Adam, I think they're going to give this to him. I think he hit the 35-yard line, so that should be a first down.
And it will be, John. So they needed 5. They got 5. McGilvery absorbed the blow and got the reception. And these types of plays are important to keep Nebraska's streamlined, efficient offense off the field.
Keep those playmakers on the sidelines. That's what this Cowboy offense wants to do. They want to control the football and control the tempo with their offense.
Low snap on first down from the 35. Here is Nate Holmes. Slips one tackle and steps out shy of midfield for a 12-yard run. Daniel Davey was able to jar him out of bounds, but the transfer from Arkansas, who was considered one of the fastest players in Texas out of high school, moves the chains.
You can see why McNeese State is so successful and such a tough opponent because of their speed. They can actually do it with their skill guys on offense. Plenty of transfers that come in. You see the quarterback in Sam's, the running backs in Milton and Holmes, and they get a little help just about everywhere in this lineup.
They give it to Holmes, and he squirts into Nebraska territory on a run of 3. David Santos was there on the tackle, and let's see if McNeese will be happy down just 7 through 15 minutes. And I think if you ask a lot of FCS teams going up against a ranked FBS team, hey, you're down a touchdown after 15 minutes. Not ideal, but decent position to be in.
No, you're where you want to be. You're in a competitive football game. You're crossing the 50 now. You've got another quarterback that can change the dynamic of what you do offensively. So I think they're very comfortable right where they're at.
So McNeese State trails by just 7 through 15 minutes on the road in their second ever trip to Memorial Stadium in Lincoln. It started with the stop of Abdullah. They got the lead on the touchdown from Milton, but Tommy Armstrong in this offense getting back at it for Nebraska. Westerkamp a score, Abdullah a score. That's your score after 1. Thanks, Maddie. A good Nebraska boy yourself, from what I remember correctly. McNeese State in Nebraska territory to start the second quarter, down by 7. 14 unanswered for the Huskers to close out the first 15 minutes. Daniel Sams, the transfer from Kansas State. And a penalty marker is thrown.
Looked like Quentin Marsh, that left guard.
False start.
Just moved.
Offense number 62. 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
And indeed, the junior from Dickinson, Texas did. Honorable mention all Southland last year. But a solid first quarter for McNeese State. Stopped Amir Abdullah for a couple of negative plays, which FAU did not do last week. But Nebraska, a couple of explosive plays after that first rough drive.
McNeese State pretty much did whatever they wanted to do. They got out on that great stop defensively. They controlled the clock and the time of possession. They're in this football game.
Derek Milton, the transfer from Mississippi State, starts in the backfield. Sams seeking space and spins back into Nebraska territory. It'll be 3rd and 10 coming up. Nate Gary on the tackle. Sams had a big game against Baylor last year. He can really do it himself. 199 yards against Baylor and 3 rushing touchdowns. Did pass for 4 scores, but had a very good completion percentage. 38 of 53 last season, splitting snaps with Jake Waters, now the starting quarterback full-time for Kansas State. And McNeese is 3 of 5 on 3rd down thus far, and they'll spread it out with 4 receivers. Dylan Long is in there for pass protection. Sams takes a shot for Celesti, and it's incomplete. Good coverage by Josh Mitchell downfield against the top target for the Cowboys. It'll bring up 4th down. Now, in this field position, are you looking to punt or are you looking to go for it? And it looks like Jean Bro is going to come out to punt for McNeese.
Yeah, I like the decision by Coach Viator. I think you have to punt the football here. Good defensive stand, and Josh Mitchell, nice job on the edge. Celesti had some leverage on the outside, but the ball just was inside.
So DeMornay Pearson L, freshman from Virginia, back to return. High, short kick. And it'll be out of bounds near the 22-yard line. So Nebraska, which has scored 14 unanswered points on offense, will take the ball when you come back to Lincoln. College football on ABC continues this Saturday in an early Pac-12 showdown. Cody Kessler, that no-huddle USC offense, on the road to try to snap Stanford's 17-game home win streak. 3:30 Eastern on ABC later on today. Who's in? That's the question with the new college football playoff. There's Kenny Bell, outstanding Nebraska receiver who has a catch today for 14 yards, one of 3 explosive plays for the Nebraska offense. And Kenny Bell is zoning in on some impressive territory. 4 catches shy of tying the 1972 Heisman winner Johnny Rodgers for second most in terms of receptions all time at Nebraska. Although Bell is on the sideline as Nebraska starts this drive from its own 20-yard line. And it's Amir Abdullah getting a short pickup on that play as Austin Pennington came in to help make the tackle for McNeese State's defense. Just a yard. 6 0-yardage or negative plays for Nebraska so far today after 0 last week. Little comeback route on the sideline picked up by Jamal Turner for his second catch right in front of Jermaine Antoine. That'll bring up 3rd down and about 5. There is Bo Pelini, 7th season now as the head coach of Nebraska. He just passed Frank Solich for 3rd all-time at Nebraska in wins. Only Tom Osborne and Bob Devaney have more. Alabama, Oregon, and Nebraska are the only 3 teams to win 9 or more each of the last 6 years. And movement up front for the Cornhuskers by Chongo Kondolo, the junior guard.
Looked like that was going to be
start offense number 7, 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
An opportunity for Tommy Armstrong to maybe read that zone read and give him the run pass or the run option on the edge. But now you go back where you have 3rd and long. So you may see him either move the pocket or be able to deal from the pocket in the passing game.
Tim Beck, the offensive coordinator, was hoping for an average of 4+ on 1st down to set up 2nd and 3rd and manageable. 3rd and long here against a 4-man twist. Armstrong, a nice route for Turner. He stays in bounds and steps out at the 37-yard line for an additional couple yards. 17-yard pass play, another play of 10 or more yards for this Nebraska offense.
Well, it's been feast or famine. You're going to be able to come inside and be able to get to the zone on the outside. This is just a great job of being able to throw the football to the open area. Great job of route discipline and finding the open space in the zone.
Abdullah stumbles down, no gain. Pennington was there once again. Nebraska's offense last season averaged 32 points a game. That was 5th in the Big Ten and top 50 in the country. Abdullah, the anchor of that fantastic rushing attack that had Terrell Newby and Amani Cross. This has been a very good running team, Nebraska, the last several years. Going back to Rex Burkhead. 2nd and 10. Long out route caught by Westerkamp for a 1st down to the 48-yard line in front of Derek Allen. This kid has hands. He's got a nose for the right spot in the field.
He's got a stash, too. Add that to the list. Great job. One-handed catch and having the concentration to get that foot in bounds. This is just a simple 3-step drop out of shotgun and flypaper on the outside.
SC top 10 nominee. Every week this kid might put together a highlight reel by himself. From the 48, look at the cutback by Abdullah with plenty of space, and he's hit at the 40-yard line. Down at the 39 on another 10+ yard play for Nebraska's offense. Everett Ellefson ran him down. Let's go back to the catch though by Westerkamp. This kid again week after week seems like he's going to make a highlight play.
Simple timing route to the outside. He just throws that right arm and right hand up there, has the presence to control the catch and control his feet at the same time.
Imani Cross checks in for Abdullah with the ball at the 40-yard line.
2 back-to-back great plays by Westerkamp and then the jump cut by Abdullah.
Armstrong, a strong throw to the wide side of the field for Jamal Turner and another catch. This one for 6. That's an NFL level throw going from near hash to far side.
It's a hard way to make a living to get 6 or 7 yards on 1st down, but with a strong right arm that Tommy has, he's able to throw it on time and on target.
Second down 3. Monty Cross was the fake, and Tommy Armstrong runs it to the near side where he gets popped out of bounds by Wallace Scott. Now the offense is clicking. 24 yards there for Tommy Armstrong.
Cowboys trying to rely on that speed, but they lost leverage on the outside. Shea Nutt, the corner, he has to stay outside of Tommy Armstrong. Tommy too fast and wins that foot race.
Move in the pocket. Looking in the flat. And incomplete. Jamal Turner was out of bounds. Go ahead, John.
Adam, that'll be a play that offensive coordinator Tim Beck will want to teach Tommy Armstrong. Don't give up the flat route when you have it, just to look downfield to try to get that score. He flashed right now to the flat. Give it to your playmaker on the outside. If you get 5, you get 5.
Already 69 rushing yards for Armstrong, more than he had last week. Haven't even played 5 minutes in the second. Second and goal. Oh, that is going to get picked off. Looking for Westerkamp, and Aaron Sam intercepted it. Armstrong trying to run him down, forces him to the inside. And Aaron Sam has open space and a block.
He's going to go.
Aaron Sam's going to go. There are no flags on the field. Touchdown, McNeese State on a pick 6 of 98 yards.
I'm not sure where Tommy Armstrong was throwing this football, but I know he didn't want to throw it on the inside because that's where Aaron Sam was. Westerkamp had gone to the outside on an out route, and that ball looked like it might have been thrown on a wheel route, thinking he was going to go out and up. But a terrific job, a great block on the outside by Gabe Hammer, springs Aaron Sam into the end zone, and we're an extra point away from being all tied up.
How about Tommy Armstrong, who was clicking on that drive? The offense looked great, and a mistake between he and Westerkamp leads to the second longest interception return in McNeese State.
But Adam, that goes back to first down. If you take that one in the flat, now you're on the 5-yard line. You may get in and run the football there on second down. It changes the way you think as an offensive coordinator. Now, I'm not sure if that led to the communication bust between quarterback and wide receiver. But if you take that on first down, you may be in a running situation on second down and never get to this play.
Derek Allen was banged up a little bit for McNeese State during that interception return, but he was helped off the field and he was able to get back to the sideline. But Sam with the interception for a touchdown. And 2 turnovers, 1 on downs and 1 on the interception by Nebraska today after no turnovers last week. Gelston adds the extra point. It was an issue for Nebraska last year. Too many turnovers, and Aaron Sam able to read the pass for his first career touchdown. The senior from Lake Charles has the team from Lake Charles tied with Nebraska. Ryan Bronson had a 98-yard touchdown on an interception. Aaron Sam goes 98 to tie this game at 14. Talk to me about communication, John.
Well, I think it was a problem between quarterback and wide receiver. I think that Tommy Armstrong thought it was going to be a down, out, and up, a wheel route. And Westerkamp on the outside just ran the flat route. So as you look at this, on the outside, you're going to see Westerkamp give a signal on the outside with his right hand to Armstrong, but Armstrong's head is forward. So the route that he runs is just an out route to the outside. Tommy's looking to throw this football to the inside, and Sam is in the perfect spot to get this play. All he does is come off the inside coverage and play loose, because that's where the ball's going to be. Breaks on the football, and now there's nothing but green grass. He gets a couple great blocks, and this game's tied up.
Well, the interception, the first of the season for Tommy Armstrong, after the drive was looking very good for Nebraska. DeMornay Pearson-L is going to get a shot from the 1-yard line. And he got hammered shy of the 20. Khalil Thomas ran him down first, and then the rest of that McNeese State coverage unit closes him out. I mean, interesting that Pearson-L was the man who was returning that kick. Kenny Bell had returned the first couple of kicks. He was on the sideline for a good chunk of that last drive. I wonder if there is something wrong with Bell, who is not out on the field as Nebraska's offense takes the field from the 18.
This is where you have to take charge as a quarterback. Get everybody settled down and get back to what you do well as an offense.
And John, that means going with that option play and using Abdullah. Armstrong keeps it, and he's got a strong run for a first down to the 31-yard line. 13-yard run there. Armstrong running with a little bit of purpose maybe after that interception toss.
Yeah, I think he got a little talking to on the sidelines, and he's probably a little disappointed in himself. Love the way he finishes that run.
A nice block by Westerkamp as well. Diamond formation in the backfield, and Abdullah comes out of the pack with the ball and another first down. Down to the 43-yard line. A dozen more for Amir Abdullah before Deontay Thompson, the senior from Shreveport, playing his 32nd career game, got the tackle.
This is what you do well. You're able to spread the defense and use a little bit of combination running with Armstrong and Abdullah. That's your identity, and that's what they're going back to.
All three of these running backs, who combined for nearly 2,500 yards last season, are in the backfield with Tommy Armstrong. Newby, Cross, and Abdullah. They're all pass protecting as they go one-on-one downfield. And incomplete for Jamal Turner, and he looked like he may have pulled up a little late. So Kenny Bell hasn't been on the field the last series plus, and now Turner kind of pulls up.
You make a great point. You've got two of your playmakers that may be on the sidelines with various injuries. I like the aggressiveness of Tommy Armstrong there. He changed the play. He saw man-to-man coverage, press coverage on the outside, and he was going to take a shot with one of his playmakers, but it looks like Turner has a leg issue.
And Kenny Bell still on the sideline. Shovel pass. Abdullah with a good block in front of him, and he'll pick up the first down. How about Jake Cotton, the left guard, springing Abdullah to move the chains once again, this time to the 46 of McNeese State.
You mentioned the 6'6", 305 senior, the 3-year starter. Watch 68 get out in front and move people for his senior running back.
Jake Cotton, a knee injury, kept him out a couple of games last year. He's healthy this season. First down from the 46, and off play action. Armstrong sets up for a deep toss downfield, and out of the reach and incomplete for Tariq Allen. Just a little bit off target. Looking for Allen.
Just a hair. Great play action fake by Armstrong, and he just overshoots him by just a yard. If you're the quarterback, you're saying, come on, help me out. You got to make that catch. Maybe if Tommy puts a little bit more air on that football, he's going to allow Allen to run underneath it a little bit easier.
Yeah, Allen beat Tavarius Batiste in one-on-one downfield. 2nd and 10. Another pass play. Abdullah through the block, then released. And there goes Amir Abdullah to the sideline. Inside the 20-yard line. 27 yards. Brent Spikes jarred him out. So Nebraska's look like it's hit or miss, but when they hit big.
They've had some big plays so far through 1.5 quarters, and Abdullah, number 8's been on the receiving end or running the football on most of them.
Abdullah gets a breather, and Terrell Newby is back out onto the field. McNeese brings pressure, loading the box. Armstrong gets rid of it, and a dangerous throw is up for grabs. Nearly intercepted by Wallace Scott. Intended for Terrell Newby out of the backfield. 2nd down.
Wallace Scott did an excellent job of coming from the inside out. Tommy never really had an opportunity to set his feet, but his eyes needed to get on the pressure, number 1, and the coverage over the top by Wallace Scott. Allen was the guy that was in his face. Really hurried the throw.
McNeese likes to blitz. They like to bring pressure from that 4-2-5 nickel defense. And Armstrong will spread 3 out among the wide side of the field. Again, no Bell and no Turner out there. And with the play clock winding down, a timeout.
Timeout. Nebraska. Team's second timeout.
Oh, to be in the mind of Bo Pelini right about now. Second timeout used by the Huskers with 8:10 to play here in this second quarter. And the first meeting between Virginia Tech and Ohio State comes your way tonight on ESPN, brought to you by Hampton Hotels. Frank Beamer, Urban Meyer, winning coaches, winning programs, and two quarterbacks making their second career starts, Michael Brewer and JT Barrett. That's tonight at 8 Eastern on ESPN.
I like the chances of Virginia Tech, to be honest with you, with that defense by Bud Foster. He can dial up. They have Faison and Fuller, two young corners that'll give a young quarterback for Ohio State making his second start a difficult evening.
Look at that. Frank Beamer, active leader in wins. Urban Meyer, only 2 losses at Ohio State, both the final 2 games last year. Won every regular season game since becoming the coach. You saw Kenny Bell still on the sidelines. Abdullah's back into the game on 2nd and 10. Another blitz and more one-on-one downfield, and Alonzo Moore reaches out to make the catch at the 8-yard line in front of Gabe Hamner. 1st and goal. And Tim Beck and Bo Pelini talked very highly about Alonzo Moore, who had off-season shoulder surgery, trying to step in with some injuries to this receiving core all of a sudden.
Big-time catch in the red zone. Six straight passes for Nebraska. They may run it on first down here.
Option. Armstrong keeps it, trying to slip back to the inside. And snared by Carlos Carroll and brought down. 4 yards there. And it sets up 2nd and goal inside the 5 as we hit the halfway point of the second quarter. McNeese State took the lead 7-0. 14 unanswered by Nebraska. Then a pick 6 by Aaron Sam to tie the game at 14. Nebraska trying to jump back out in front. And Amani Cross, who was an excellent 3rd down back last year as the I-back. 10 touchdowns last season. Also had one last week. Here's Cross. Got hit in the backfield and then finished off by Brent Spikes. Daniel Hunter was the first man to make contact with him, though, and Spikes finished it off.
Another negative play, and I can't believe Nebraska's getting beat at the point of attack. Just great penetration by Hunter. And a huge tackle for loss.
3rd and goal from the 8-yard line. Nebraska was rock solid in the red zone last season, trying to convert. And there's a whistle before the play with the play clock inside of 10.
Timeout.
So the Cowboys will use a timeout here to talk things over in this goal line scenario. We'll step aside as well. Huge 3rd and goal. Huskers trying to take the lead. Huskers trying to take the lead. McNeese State trying to hold Nebraska to a field goal attempt on 3rd and goal from the 8-yard line. Uneasy moments here in Lincoln. It is Amir Abdullah next to Tommy Armstrong as he spreads it out with 4 receivers. No Kenny Bell on this drive. He's been on the sidelines for the last series plus. Sethan Carter, who's usually a tight end, now goes back to the tight end spot. Late blitz comes over the middle on the toss. They're looking for Westerkamp, and he was hit shy of the goal line at the 1. Dominique Hill, the freshman, got tested and came up with the tackle before Westerkamp could move to the end zone. They'll keep the offense out on the field on 4th down.
Here comes some tempo. And here comes the thumper. Monty Cross in the backfield.
Ruling on the field completion. And there will be a signal down from the replay booth here. Steve Beckman is our replay official. Brian Smith does the communications, and they're going to take a look at this completion. Now, if anybody is going to be at the goal line for a touchdown, it's Jordan Westerkamp. This guy has a nose for the goal line. But was the pass caught? Was it a completion all the way through the process? And if it was, did he break the plane at all? And is there enough evidence to decidedly say so on those 3 outs.
It sure looks like a catch, but I'm not so sure the ball ever had an opportunity to break the plane of the end zone. His helmet is there, but I'm not sure you can definitively say or see the football.
Did he make an effort to move that ball across the goal line? Is this going to be a touchdown?
On the field stands, completed pass at the 1-yard line, 4th down.
It'll be 4th and goal. So they didn't have enough evidence to call that a touchdown, but it is a completion, and it's 4th and goal from inside the 1 for Nebraska.
Well, this is the time those big guys up front need to move the pile. Just need a crease from inside the 1-yard line.
And it will be Amani Cross, the backfield thumper in the game, as the I-back. Armstrong trying to clear the pile, and he's in for a touchdown. Nebraska takes the lead.
Solid job by the Cornhuskers, doing a great job of moving the football both through the air and on the ground. And let's credit Tommy Armstrong Jr. He did a nice job of showing some poise there, coming back after a couple negative plays, being able to run the football and fit it into some tight windows to regain the lead.
Second rushing touchdown of the season for Tommy Armstrong. Drew Brown on for the extra point. (21-14), Huskers on top. While we have a moment, back to the studios. Matt Schiff.
Thank you, Adam. Last week, Nebraska had no problems with Florida Atlantic. Alabama, same deal. Jake Coker, touchdown pass. Blake Sims has 3 touchdowns for Alabama. They're up 31-0.
Thanks very much, Matty. You got the feeling some uneasy, some tense moments here in Lincoln, Nebraska. This big crowd, another sellout after a rough opening drive, then a pick 6 that tied the game. But Tommy Armstrong engineering a solid drive without a couple of his big playmakers. Kenny Bell was on the sidelines for the entire drive. Jamal Turner was hurt during that drive. If we get any report as to why Kenny Bell has been on the sidelines lately, the last really 2 full series now, we'll let you know and we'll relay that information. But Armstrong calling his own number to cap off an 82-yard drive.
I just like the way he showed poise on the drive. He was able to move around. He did it with his toughness in running the football, finishing the run back in his own end, and then delivering some strikes down the field in tight windows to regain the lead. Good composure for a sophomore quarterback.
Moro Bondi. There will be a bounce at the 4, and it's picked up at the 10 by Khalil Thomas. And he's hit at the 13-yard line. After that major scramble, long field in front. And Tommy Armstrong Jr. has done some impressive things. It's been hit or miss at times, but when he's hit big.
Yeah, they've hit some big plays through the air and on the ground. Tommy Armstrong has done a nice job of controlling the pocket. When guys have been there down the field, for the majority of the time, he's been able to hit them and finishing runs, getting his confidence back, and then going vertical for the score. Nice way to finish that drive for the Husker offense.
And the interception was a pick 6. Daniel Sams, the transfer from Kansas State, starts this drive from the 14-yard line. And it's a give to Kelvin Bennett. Pick up about 4.5. It'll bring up 2nd down. So McNeese State's offense, which has been very deep at wide receiver. We've seen a lot of their speed. We've seen a couple of playmakers, and we've seen 3 different guys in the backfield, including a couple of transfers, try to put it together against this Nebraska defense. They got a touchdown in their first drive offensively, but haven't done much since on offense. Nebraska showing pressure, and they bring it against the run. And into the second level, close to the first down goes Bennett. He'll be about a yard shy or so. Well, let's see. If this is a favorable spot, it might be enough for a first down, and they will move the chains. 6 yards there.
That's your goal if you're McNeese State on offense right now. You're backed up in your own end. You almost lose the kickoff, but they're able to get a first down. So now you get some momentum, and you may get Daniel Sams running the football now off of that zone read.
Off play action, rolling away from his arm side, and now he wants a blocker. And Sams is able to get out of bounds shy of the 30-yard line. David Santos ran him out of bounds. Kendale Thomas was in the flat, and then he called out for Thomas to block for him.
Yeah, if there's any hesitation, whether it looks cloudy downfield, you can count on Daniel running the football because that's what he does best. He's getting better from the pocket. They're moving the pocket a little bit for him now. But if he's going to have a choice and there's any hesitation, look for Daniel Sams to run that football because he does it so well.
Approaching 4 minutes to go in the second quarter in a 7-point game. Bennett got a good block up front and took it right to the sticks at the 34-yard line. Josh Banderas, the sophomore Mike linebacker, with the tackle of Bennett. Banderas is in there, by the way, because Michael Rose injured his knee in fall camp. Michael Rose Ivy. Banderas taking over in that middle linebacker spot.
Big play for the defense of the Cornhuskers right here. They need to come up with a big stop on third and very short.
The 36-year-old defensive coordinator John Papuchis on 3rd and 1 has 4 men with their hand down. Play clock's running down. Sams wanted the snap, and instead of keeping it, he gave it off to Bennett, and Greg McMullen, the sophomore from Ohio, came up with the tackle to set up 4th down and short.
McMullen did an excellent job of squeezing down the line of scrimmage. He played both the quarterback and the ball carrier. Did an excellent job of playing cat and mouse at that defensive end position.
Well, the offense was out there for a moment, and now the punting unit's going to come on. It looked like John Papuchis was yelling punt safe. There he is, 7th year on this staff. Former grad assistant under Nick Saban, former defensive intern for Bo Pelini. After Carl Pelini left for the FAU job, he took over as the defensive coordinator. Play clock running down, penalty marker thrown, delay of games to call.
Delay game, offense, 5-yard penalty, remains 4th down.
That'll move it back 5 yards, and Jean Bro will punt away.
And now they're able to get the return unit on and get the defense off the field. So this helps Nebraska with an opportunity to score, not only when their offense takes the field, but with their special teams unit.
Again, it was punt safe, so they still had most of their defensive unit out there on that 4th and 1. Now it's 4th and 6. The punt unit is on defense as well. Bro gets rid of it on a line drive. Pearson L takes it out of bounds from the 35-yard line, and a solid return just shy of midfield. 2:25 to play late in the first half. Huskers up 7.
Matt Chick here in our studios. Kevin Carter will join me at halftime. We'll run down your Big Ten scoreboard. Wisconsin having their own FCS difficulties. Alabama's plan for Nick Saban using 2 quarterbacks. Working out pretty well at home today. We'll look ahead to the other games this afternoon. See you then.
See you, Matty. 2:25 to play. And Kenny Bell with a 14-yard catch and a decent kick return. But outside of that, he's been on the sidelines the last several series for Nebraska. Jamal Turner came up limping on a long pass, so the wide receiver ranks getting a little thin for Tommy Armstrong. Who's he going to go to? Jordan Westerkamp, but that is nearly intercepted by Dominique Hill. He jumped that long out route, and Hill nearly came up with a pick.
It's been hit or miss for not only the offense today, but for quarterback Tommy Armstrong Jr. He's either thrown it right on the money to the guys in red or right on the money to the guys in white.
On the 49, both Abdullah and Newby in the backfield. This is Newby seeking space. They'll take it to the 46. Everett Ellefson has the tackle on a 5-yard run. 3rd down. 2 minutes to go in this second quarter. Back and forth. McNeese State, the 6th-ranked FCS team in the country, coming into the polls this week in their season opener. Only down 7 on the road. The Huskers, a score here would be huge to close out the half.
I think you rely on your quarterback to run the football here.
We'll leave it up to Armstrong. Throwing down towards the sideline for Moore. Incomplete. Coverage from Jermaine Antoine, the redshirt at TCU last year. And that brings up 4th down. And the punt unit is coming on for Nebraska. Again, you sense the air in this building is being sucked out slowly.
Well, you mentioned Kenny Bell on the sidelines, Alonzo Moore, or I'm sorry, Jamal Turner on the sideline. So you get Alonzo Moore in, and he made a nice catch earlier, but needs to make that catch to move the chains and keep Nebraska's offense on the field.
Just the 3rd punt of the season for Sam Foltz. And a sky-high kick. Hang time on that one, forcing a fair catch at the 10 from Nate Holmes on a 36-yard punt. So it will be Tyler Bolfing seemingly getting the call here on the offensive end. He has led a touchdown drive in this game already. We've seen Daniel Sams the last few series. This 2-quarterback system, nothing new for Matt Viator's team. They had a transfer from North Texas and Riley Dodge a couple of years ago, working in concert with Cody Stroud, who finished his career last year as the Offensive Player of the Year in the Southland. So this offense knows how to use 2 QBs.
Nothing new, but a very difficult situation to come off the bench now when you haven't played in a number of series.
With a long field in front, so they'll lean on the running game to get some yardage, and it's Milton for 4 yards to the 14-yard line. So 2 series apiece for Sams and Bolfing thus far in this game. There is the transfer from Kansas State.
You have to feel good right now if you're McNeese State. You've done a nice job. You haven't been flashy, and you haven't done it with a lot of glitz and glamour, but you're a touchdown down on the road in front of an NCAA record sellout crowd. Pretty impressive.
Let's see how conservative they're going to be here. Nebraska does have 1 timeout to use as well. Keep it on the ground. And a good play by Malik Collins on the inside, one of our impact players on defense, stuffing Derek Milton. 44 seconds to play, and Nebraska will use its timeout. This is the 2nd weekend of the college football season, which usually means it's the opening weekend of the NFL, and that means a doubleheader. Monday Night Football is back with a Week 1 twin bill. Awful year for Eli Manning last year, trying to get the Giants to bounce back. They'll be on the road to take on Calvin Johnson and the Lions. Then out west, Chargers and Cardinals at 10:20. Giants and Lions will start it off at 7:10. Monday Night Countdown at 5 Eastern. Served by Applebee's. Both games available on Watch ESPN.
Can't wait for Sundays. This is going to be good. Palmer and Rivers in the 2nd game. Pretty good.
44 seconds to play. So if Nebraska gets a stop, at the very least, they force another snap from McNeese State to close out the first half. Milton will stay in the backfield with Bolfing out of the gun. Draw play on 3rd down. Milton trying to stay on his feet. And at the very least, that'll get the clock inside of 40 seconds, so that could do it and will do it for the first half.
That's it.
And McNeese will get the ball to start half number 2. Remember, they won the toss and deferred. Nebraska started with the ball. Give me your thoughts, John. McNeese State on the road. Nebraska trying to move to 2-0. What are you seeing on both sides?
I like what they're doing for the Cowboys. I really like, they haven't been intimidated. They've been able to come up with some big plays offensively and defensively with that long interception. For Nebraska, they just need to go back to basics. They need to go back and get that running game started. And that means quarterback Tommy Armstrong making good decisions, getting Abdullah involved, and one of those young receivers has to come up and emerge.
The pick 6 from Aaron Sam tied it at 14. It's a 7-point Huskers lead at the halftime break. McNeese ball in half 2. Right now, UC Matt Schick and Kevin Carter. You're watching the ESPNU All-State Saturday kickoff from Lincoln, Nebraska at Memorial Stadium. At the beginning of this game, the ESPN Football Power Index gave McNeese State a 1% chance to win this game. They're only down by 7, and they get the ball to start the second half against the 19th ranked team in the country. That will welcome you back into the broadcast booth. Adam Amin, John Congemi. A couple of years ago when McNeese State took on LSU, they kept it close for 2.5 quarters. We're en route to a game just like that. But what do you want to see? What have you seen so far that has gotten us to this point?
I'd like to see more consistency for Nebraska on both sides of the football. What I've seen so far is inconsistency.
Right.
I've seen a lot of missed opportunities by Nebraska, and they were very careless with the football. That's something they didn't do last week. A lot more negative plays in the running game and in the passing game that has really held them back. We've seen some good, and I really like the way Abdullah runs the football. I mean, this guy is a playmaker. He can hurt you from anywhere. And then the Westerkamp gets behind coverage. Tommy Armstrong right on the money. Things are rolling for Big Red. But a couple bad decisions in the passing game led to a possible interception, and then one that went to the house. Aaron Sam took this a long way and made a lot of people in red jerseys miss to get 6 points. So this is, something that's positive for the Cowboys of McNeese State, but Tommy Armstrong needs to get more consistent, needs his offense to get more consistent. Too many negative plays that resulted in bad plays, but they have had some positive plays, down the field. Just need more consistency in the second half.
Yeah, the 40-yard touchdown to Westerkamp. Armstrong a 42-yard run, a 27-yard run from Abdullah to set up a touchdown. Again, a storyline that we'll keep an eye out for, and we cannot stress the importance of this enough. Kenny Bell was out for a good chunk of the last few offensive series for Nebraska. They look like they may have lost Jamal Turner for a while with seemingly maybe a hamstring, something just pulled up lame on a long route down the sideline. So we'll see what happens when Nebraska takes the ball. But Nate Holmes is back to return a Moro Bondi kick to start half number 2, and the Cowboys are within a score. From the goal line, Holmes takes it out across the 20. From the 21-yard line is where the Cowboys will start with the ball, and Tyler Bolfing, who led the opening offensive series in the first half for a touchdown for this McNeese State team, will start the second half as well. Again, Daniel Sams, the transfer from Kansas State, will likely see some time too.
Well, the Cowboys offense started on fire. You could tell the way they opened up the game. But now let's see if Nebraska can come out in this third quarter and set the tone, not with their offense, but with their defense,
which was said to be the strength of their team in preseason. Bolfing to throw on first down, setting up the tunnel screen for Ernest Celesti. The 6th-year senior, former Texas Tech Red Raider, takes it for 6. And Daniel Davey jars him out of bounds.
The one thing you've noticed with the Cowboys on both sides of the football, they have speed to compete. That's the thing that's keeping them in this football game. That Louisiana speed that they pride themselves on, they feel like they can run with anybody in the country. And if they can make enough plays, they can stay in this football game.
Tyler Bolfing played about a possession per game behind Cody Stroud most of last year. Stroud, the 2013 Offensive Player of the Year in the Southland. Bolfing made his first career start today. And it's a handoff on second down. Working his way to the 29-yard line is Derek Milton. Santos was there on the tackle on a 3-yard run, and it will be 3rd and short. Can Nebraska make stops in these scenarios to try to force the ball to their side?
It makes it a little bit easier with Daniel Sams on the sidelines, because you don't have to really worry about Tyler Bolfing running the football in this situation. So you can tee off at the point of attack, see if you can win that battle at the line of scrimmage.
Nate Holmes, the transfer from Arkansas, is the pistol back. Bolfing off play action. He's got Holmes in the flat, and he cannot hold on to it for a surefire first down. Instead, it will be 4th down. That's the second time that play pass with the man open in the flat was right there for him.
It worked early, and it worked on 4th down in the first drive of this game, but sometimes you can be too fast. I think Nate Holmes just needed to put it in this 3rd gear there going into the flat and just idle down and make the catch and not worry about the run after catch.
Right now, John, it feels like if Nebraska gets the ball and scores, that's going to shift the entire momentum of this game. 4th punt for Jean Bro. Pearson L. backpedaling to the 28, and the freshman, never lacking confidence, ends up losing about a half yard on the return on a 42-yard punt. Khalil Thomas on the stop. And here comes the Nebraska offense for their first touch of the second half. Tommy Armstrong in the first half, the redshirt sophomore from Texas. 7-1 as a starter last year. Got the win last week. Was very good in the ground game, at a 42-yard run in that first half. Couple of long 20-plus yard runs. But the interception was costly, a pick 6. Amir Abdullah just 41 yards in the first half. And a stretch play gets him to about the 37. There is a penalty marker thrown in the offensive backfield, though.
During the run, holding, offense, number 56. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay first down.
That was an issue last year. The most penalized team in the Big Ten, Nebraska was. And Mark Pelini, the nephew of Bo, gets caught there.
You're going to get the center coming on the outside. He's going to reach to his right side. And he's just going to hook that right arm inside the pad. It looked like of Kevin Dorn, that defensive tackles. That's going to move the Cornhusker offense backwards closer to their 20-yard line.
Mark, now a senior, started 2 games last year. Back to Abdullah, trying to get some of that penalty yardage back, and Aaron Sam is there for the tackle. It'll bring up 3rd and long. On 3rd and long, you would love to have a big play threat like Kenny Bell. His equipment is off, his jersey is off, and he is out of this game seemingly, and we have no idea why, whether it's an injury, whether it's disciplinary, whether it was induced by Bell himself or someone else, but he seemingly is done for the day. 4-man rush on 3rd and long. Armstrong gets tackled from behind. An ankle tackle by Everett Ellefson closes out a 3-and-out on this Nebraska offensive drive.
Terrific 3-and-out opportunity right now for the Cowboys on defense.
How about this? 3rd down and long, and again 3rd and 14. Obviously with that penalty setting up this 3rd and long. And McNeese trying to push Nebraska back once again.
Somebody needs to step up and make a play for Nebraska's offense.
Tunnel screen, setting it up for Tariq Allen, and he'll get hit at the 30-yard line, and Aaron Sam is there once again for the tackle. And that will force 4th down. And now the punt unit coming on for Nebraska.
Remember, we talked about tackling in space, especially from the free safety position. Aaron Sam has done an excellent job frustrating players like Tommy Armstrong and Jordan Westerkamp, because he's been able to tackle when no one else is around. Good recognition, good breakdown, simple fundamentals on defense.
Second punt for Sam Foltz, the sophomore from Grand Island. And a boomer. 55-yard punt, and Nate Holmes will take it across the 20-yard line. McNeese State back on offense, down by just 7 to the 19th ranked team in the country. FCS teams giving FBS teams, especially in the Big Ten, problems today. Western Illinois is giving Wisconsin a run for its money. Youngstown giving Illinois a run for its money. And right now, McNeese State down by just 7 on offense from the 22. Tyler Bolfing off play action. Pocket collapsing and time running out, and there's a sack for Greg McMullen. He had a sack against FAU last week. That's something that the Nebraska defense, led by John Papuchis, needed to improve on, the pass rush. Good coverage downfield.
Somebody needed to replace Randy Gregory on the edge and get some pressure. That time it was McMullen coming from the left side. He was relentless, but credit that coverage down the field by the Nebraska secondary. Nowhere to throw the football for Tyler Bolfing.
Junior from Montgomery, Texas, with his 21st snap of the game. Daniel Sams has 12 snaps at quarterback. To give to Kelvin Bennett, and he gets stuffed at the 22 by the safety. As versatile as they come in the Big Ten, Nate Gary. Speed and vision on defense for the sophomore from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. That'll bring up 3rd and 10.
The only thing that stopped the Cowboys offensively on their first drive was that dropped opportunity in the flat.
Right.
Now they have to try to convert only 3 of 9 today on third down.
They only have 29 passing yards today. 7 back in coverage as Bolfing looks for a window, and it's through the hands of Zach Hetrick, his tight end. Not known as a pass catcher, unable to haul that in fourth down.
When you're McNeese State, you cannot allow these opportunities to go by the wayside. They had a drop on the first drive by Nate Holmes, and then you have a catchable pass by Hendrick in the flat. Tyler Bolfing doing his job. He can only throw it. He can't catch it as well.
So here is Jean Bro with DeMornay Pearson L, the freshman, ready to return. "44-yard punt. Here comes Pearson L. Trying to seek space to the sideline. He'll get wrapped up at the 47-yard line. Brent Spikes on the special teams stop. 7-point lead for the Huskers. Big slate of games on ESPNU today. Former Nebraska coach Frank Solich leads Ohio to Lexington to take on Kentucky. Then in prime time, number 21 South Carolina trying to bounce back. They'll take on a very good offense in East Carolina. Great rushing attack in Air Force tonight on the road at Wyoming. To close it out today on ESPNU, all games available live on Watch ESPN as well. 335th straight sellout here at Memorial Stadium. Huskers have great field position and a 7-point lead with 9:37 to play in this third quarter against the 6th-ranked FCS team of the nation, McNeese State. Tommy Armstrong of the Huskers from the 47-yard line, and it is Amir Abdullah picking up 3 yards. He's got 49 on 13 carries today. We mentioned Frank Solich, former head coach at Nebraska. 19 seasons as an assistant, took over as the head coach for a 6-year stretch as well. And Brian Hind, the junior college transfer, hammers Amir Abdullah on a loss of 2 yards on a quick tempo play. Didn't see any negative running plays last week against FAU. Nebraska having a handful of them today. That's their 6th.
Yeah, let's give some credit to this defense. They're using their team speed to shoot some of these gaps and find Abdullah behind the line of scrimmage.
3rd and 9. Against that nickel defense, Armstrong looking for a window. And into a tight one at that for Westerkamp. Broken up by Bo Brown. Getting into that passing lane and knocking it free. The junior from Katy, Texas, forces 4th down.
An abundance of 3 and outs to start this third quarter. Just a terrific job by the Cowboys reacting to the football. Westerkamp had a window, but it closed quickly on Armstrong.
Been hit or miss today for Nebraska's offense. The hits have been big, but the misses have been plenty. Foltz, a high hang time punt. And it'll bound. A very good bounce inside the 5 to the 3. They'll mark it down officially at the 2-yard line. 51-yard perfectly placed bounced punt by Sam Foltz in a long field in front of this McNeese State offense. Let's see if the Nebraska defense can come up with a big play. Again, no Randy Gregory today. Dealing with a knee injury. Had his knee scoped earlier in the week. He's ahead of schedule for recovery, though, and they're expecting him back for the game against Fresno State next week. One of the top NFL prospects in the country. And Memorial Stadium comes to life as the Cowboys have a lot of green in front of them. Daniel Sams runs the offense, keeps it, and has space, and a stiff arm gets him an advantage to the sideline where he runs out of bounds shy of the 20-yard line. 17 yards to give them much needed cushion.
That's an awesome run. A missed tackle by Davey and Cockrell. 2 stiff arms. Watch the free hand on the left side of your quarterback Sams. One there, and then he extends it again. Another one right there. to allow him to get out to the 19-yard line. That's just good execution. Ball on the outside. Use that free hand to get the defenders off you.
Longest play of the day for McNeese State's offense. 8 minutes to play in the third, down by 7. This is a give to Milton. He's got a touchdown today. He'll pick up about 1.5 yards, maybe 2. Tackled by Josh Banderas. McNeese State is getting $415,000 from Nebraska to play what has been tagged as a guarantee game when the FCS schools play the FBS schools. But especially last year, we saw a bunch of FBS schools go down. We've seen a couple already this year.
Today, or there's a lot on the road.
Problems this year, or this Saturday as well. And McNeese State is no cupcake, seemingly. We didn't think they were, and they've proven that they're not. Sams sees pressure one way, gets a huge block in the backfield, and that springs him for a solid run to the 27-yard line. Malik Collins is there on the tackle on a 6-yard run to set up 3rd and short.
Ben Jones, Ben Jones, that right tackle, did a nice job. Once Sams was leaving the pocket, he did a pretty good job of allowing him to spring that run in the backfield. There was the block there. I'm not sure if Daniel got a helmet or a knee to the helmet, the back of the head there. It was slow to get up, but he's staying in this game on a 3rd and short.
Trying to keep the Nebraska offense off the field on 3rd and 2.
He's going to have to hurry or call timeout.
First time out of the second half for McNeese State. Second meeting all time between McNeese State and Nebraska. 2002, it was a 38-14 win for the Huskers here in Lincoln when Frank Solich was the coach. Tommy Tate was McNeese's coach at the time. The Big Ten is promoting that all their league teams should stop scheduling FCS schools, and Bo Pelini has talked about it in the papers over the course of the fall camp and early in the season. He believes that this will be the last time, really, that Nebraska takes on an FCS school. The Big Ten also in a couple of years is going to go to 9 conference games, so that is another reason why they want to stop scheduling FCS teams. Nebraska, this is the 4th year in a row that they've faced an FCS school. They've won all those games by an average of about 38. This is their toughest task so far in those games.
Yeah, they've got their hands full today, and especially if this Cowboys offense can finally convert here on 3rd down.
They're 0 for their last 5 on 3rd down. They need 2 yards here. Here comes the blitz from Gary. Safety blitz. Holmes trying to reach for it, and he could not haul it in as that throw was hurried. Good play call by John Papuchis, and the Nebraska defense executed well to force an errant throw.
I've seen Tommy Armstrong do this, and now you see Daniel Sams do this. I know there's pressure, but you have to be able to set that back foot and be able to throw with pressure in your face. You'll make a much more accurate throw. That time when you back away, you're just a little bit off, but you've got a guy in Nate Holmes running 100 miles an hour down the sidelines. He's tough to hit when you don't set that platform.
And it was against a defensive end and Greg McMullen in zone coverage. Pearson L on a 45-yard punt gets a block, and he springs his way into McNeese State territory on a solid return down to the 47-yard line. And John Papuchis, the defensive coordinator, is pumped up, and Pearson L makes that punt return stand strong.
It looked like Santos 41 right there gets a huge block to spring him to the outside.
Longest return of Pearson L's career, albeit a short one thus far, of 25 yards.
You know, this is where you go right here. You go play action, you take a shot down the field. Right now, you've got some momentum from the special teams. Let Tommy Armstrong play fake and get one down the field.
With 4 receivers from the 47. Stick with the zone read. Armstrong pulls it and has the sideline. Tiptoeing on the sideline, and he's out of bounds at the 13. "34-yard run from Tommy Armstrong Jr. It'll be first down inside the 15 for Nebraska.
Adam, you called it. It's either been feast or famine. That time a feast on the ground for Armstrong. And now this offense in a hurry up to the line of scrimmage.
Another zone read here. This time it is Abdullah, hit by Brent Spikes. 8 carries for Tommy Armstrong today for 122 yards. Meanwhile, Amir Abdullah is still shy of 50 on the day after a career high 232 last week. And again, this is the mash unit of receivers out there right now. Westerkamp's a top tier receiver, but Tariq Allen and Alonzo Moore are out there. Stretch for Abdullah. And he takes it inside the 5-yard line. It'll set up 3rd and 1 here.
Abdullah showed nice patience on that run. He has the speed to get outside quickly, but that time he set up his blocks to get him in a nice 3rd down situation. Now you've got quarterback run, or you looked at number 8 to go off tackle.
Option. Armstrong keeping it. A penalty marker is thrown as he works his way into the end zone for a touchdown. But we'll have to check the flag.
Personal foul, tripping, number 68, Nebraska. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. We played 3rd down.
Costly Jake Cotton penalty there.
There's been a couple of different mistakes here by this offensive line. This time you're going to see Cotton on the left side. Watch him stick out this leg. It's almost the right leg in a whipping action behind him. The officials see it, and that moves the football back close to the 19-yard line. So you take 6 off the board, and now you put more pressure on this offense.
3rd and 16. Armstrong looking for Westerkamp downfield. He was covered. Now he's got to make a play with his feet. And he gets dragged down just shy of the 15. Everett Ellefson picked up that tackle. And it brings up 4th down. The field goal unit will come on. That Cotton penalty took a touchdown off the board, and now it's going to be up to Drew Brown to try to kick a field goal.
The problem with the penalty was it wasn't even play side. That's where you run into problems. The quarterback was already, to the outside on the right-hand side of the line of scrimmage, and it happened about 10 yards away from the touchdown, or the potential touchdown.
32-yard try for Drew Brown. He's got a leg on him. That'll make it a 2-score game with 3:51 to play in the 3rd. 3:51 on the clock, and it's 24-14 in favor of the Huskers at home. Dr. Tom Osborne, head coach for 3 national championship teams at Nebraska, now the athletic director, former Republican senator here in Nebraska as well, or representative, I should say. 255 career wins, most all time at Nebraska. Gotta wonder what his thoughts are after seeing a tight game. Maybe that was a little unexpected here today, but it is a 10-point lead for Nebraska. And Moro Bondi will kick away. Khalil Thomas trying to get to the far sideline, and he gets dragged down at the 15. Jonathan Rose with an outstanding special teams tackle. While we have a moment, let's check into the studios. Here's Matt Schick.
Thank you, Adam. Just updating you on what's going on around the country, at least in the Big Ten Conference. Wisconsin finally pulling away against Western Illinois. Penn State in a dogfight, up 7-3 on Akron. Illinois holding on, Central Michigan cruising, and Rutgers up big on Howard. Back to you.
Some trouble today. Western Kentucky putting it on Illinois. Central Michigan on Purdue. Here comes McNeese State's offense. And Daniel Sams, the transfer from Kansas State, back out there on a designed run with a pulling guard. He'll pick up just a couple of yards. Land at the 21 for a gain of 4. Zaire Anderson on the tackle.
Haven't been able to get it on track through the air, but on the ground they've done a nice job of mixing it up. It's 3rd down conversions that have really hurt this team in this third quarter. They had guys open, and you're just not catching the football to convert. They need to do better on first and second down, stay away from third down.
4 straight 3-and-outs for McNeese State's offense. Blitz is coming. Sams under pressure, gets away from it, and there's going to be a block in the back penalty here. Sams down the sideline into Nebraska territory on what would have been the longest play of the day for McNeese State's offense, but there's going to be a block in the back, which will negate a 42-yard run from Daniel Sams.
I think one of the infractions right on the line of scrimmage, end of line of scrimmage, Antoine Everett may have been holding on the play.
Yeah, there are a couple of flags down. You're right, John.
There's 2 fouls against the offense. Illegal block in the back, number 19. That penalty is declined. Holding, offense, number 71. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay second down.
It was Everett on the holding penalty. Kent Shelby got caught for the block in the back that initially negated the run. 71, the left tackle right there, is going to get called for the holding penalty, so it'll be a spot or a foul from the spot. And there's the block in the back.
Yeah, just a huge play potentially for the Cowboys offensively, and they get a hold and a block in the back. So instead of having the ball on the Nebraska side of the 50, they're trying to set up camp second down from their own 13.
A rare throw. It'll be a short pass, and Sams is just way off target for Kelvin Bennett. Swinging out of the backfield, and now 3rd and 14. And John Papuchis' defense these last few series has started to really put it to this McNeese State offensive line.
Well, they've been able to win the battle at the line of scrimmage, and they talked about how fast, he talked about how fast this defense is this year. I like the way they move as a unit. They've done a better job of covering downfield, making it very difficult for either Bolfing or Sams to complete passes.
0 for their last 6 on 3rd down, McNeese State's offense. Play clock is already at 5 as they line up. Get the play off on a quick snap. 7 back in coverage. Sams takes a shot for Celesti, who came back to the ball and caught it in Nebraska territory. He's out at the 47. There's the longest play of the day for McNeese State's offense. A 40-yard completion.
Well, Shelby makes up for it. This pass is underthrown, but he adjusts to the football. It looked like Daniel Davey turned his head at the right time, but he overran the play. That's just good recognition by Shelby to go and stop, put on the brakes, concentrate and catch the football on 3rd down.
Now, Shelby on the catch. I said Celesti. It was 19, not 17. And a huge conversion for McNeese State. Here's Bennett. Short pickup. Josh Banderas on the tackle to bring up 2nd down. And this is an offense in transition. New quarterbacks that are in the starting spot between Bolfing and Sams. No more Cole Stroud.
This might
Cody Stroud, rather. My apologies.
This might be a quarterback run down. 2nd and long. You want to get into 3rd and manageable. If you don't pick it up here, let your quarterback that has great acceleration try to make a play here on 2nd down.
Rolling right. Looking downfield, has a man, and it's good for a 1st down this time to Celesti. Stepped out of bounds at the 32-yard line, picking up 14 yards there.
Good call by offensive coordinator Tim Leje. Gets his quarterback in space, on the move. Starting to get a little rhythm on offense. Back-to-back successful plays through the air.
First down from the 32. Derek Milton bounces out the initial surge and tries to stretch it out to the sideline, where Gary runs him out after a run of 2. And we're seeing some of the speed in space. When McNeese gets the ball in space, you see their speed against Nebraska's defensive speed.
Very equal, in my opinion. These guys can run. Offensively, they've done a nice job. Once they've been in space with the football, they've been able to hold their own against Nebraska, who has a very quick defense.
Second down, 8 from the 30. Nate Holmes is the back. Sams keeps it. Trying to make a move on Greg McMullen in open field. And that 280-pound sophomore from Akron stuck right with the shifty Sams. And it brings up 3rd and 5.
McMullen's done a nice job not only rushing the passer but setting the edge on the quarterback run or the run to his side. He's a big body, as you mentioned, Adam. He's done a nice job today of just setting that edge for the Nebraska defense.
We're through 3 quarters in Lincoln. The Huskers have a 10-point lead as we head to the studios.
All right, thanks, Adam. Matchick here back in the studio. Penn State having a heck of a time against Terry Bowden's Akron Zips. Christian Hackenberg, the Jesse James touchdown toward the end of the 3rd quarter. It's 14-3. 4th quarter in Lincoln coming up.
Adam Amin, John Congemi, start of the 4th quarter in Lincoln in a game that was probably a lot tighter than most people expected. Second meeting all time between McNeese State, the 6th ranked team in the FCS, and the 19th ranked Cornhuskers. 10-point game. 3rd and 5 for McNeese State on their longest drive since their opening drive of the game. Daniel Sams throws into a very tough spot. Incomplete, looking for Kent Shelby. Josh Mitchell had the coverage that time, the undersized but very crafty veteran. And it brings up 4th down. Let's see what the decision is here.
Not a good throw by Daniel Sams. That's a short side throw on a slant. You have to be able to frame the body with that football. That was well behind him and low. So now on 4th down, he may have to make a play with his legs instead of his right arm.
They've converted their lone 4th down chance. They use that play action into the flat to do it. And Daniel Sams.
This could be quarterback draw.
It is. Calling his own number. He's got the 1st down. Making a move at the 10. Trying to get to the pylon. He dives. And he is out of bounds at the 2-yard line. But he converts on 4th and 5 and sets up 1st and goal for McNeese State on a 25-yard run.
That's just a great individual call at the line of scrimmage. Nebraska sells out man-to-man coverage. Nobody in the box. It's 5-on-5. You're the extra person as the runner, as the quarterback. His hand hits outside before the ball hit the pylon. That was a heck of an effort to try to get in the end zone.
The field of the runner stepping out of bounds at the 2-yard line is under further review.
So Steve Beckman, the replay official, will buzz down and make sure that the ruling on the field was proper.
It looked like Sam's left hand. I'm not sure about the footwork on the sideline, but the hand hits before the ball maybe crosses the goal line or breaks the plane or before it hits the pylon.
And even his knee and his hand were both down around the same time. Watch his knee here. Right knee right around there at the 2.
Left hand.
And the left hand are both out.
That ball may be inside the 1 now. They may adjust this.
Yeah, I think the spot should probably be adjusted.
It's hard to tell. He may have also lost the football. Let's see if the hand hits. He has control of the football there.
I think so too.
So I think that ball's probably going to be somewhere around the 1-yard line or just inside where it is now at the 2.
Yeah, so a lot of things to look at for Steve Beckman, our replay official, the Big Ten replay official today. Wants to make sure the spot is correct, wants to make sure there was full possession of the ball as well for Sams. And again, I think we've kind of made the conclusion that when the knee goes down, he still has control of the ball. The left hand is also down around the 1-yard line.
That's where the hand hits, and that's what we're looking at. So it looks like the ball had not touched the pylon or crossed the goal line. Breaking the plane with that football.
After further review, the ball will be placed at the half-yard line as the runner hand was out prior to breaking the goal line. 1st down.
So that's the official ruling. They do change the spot. It'll be 1st and goal from inside the 1, officially a 26-yard run. Sam sets him up, and now Tyler Bolfing will check in at quarterback for McNeese State. And they bring in 3 tight ends in this set. Dylan Long's the fullback, and Derek Milton, who's got a touchdown today, is the deep back. And they give it to Long, trying to break the plane, hoping to push the pile, and both line judges rule it just short. And Greg McMullen, who's had a great day defensively, was there amongst a pile of red jerseys to make that stop. 2nd and goal.
Nice defensive stand there by the black shirts. It looked like Long was going to get into the end zone, but there again, McMullen and company looking stout inside the 1.
And Long was their big-time bruising back. He had 10 touchdowns last year, second to only Marcus Wiltz, who was their leading rusher last season. Milton's the deep back once again with Long as the fullback. Bolfing trying to keep it. Long tried to push him forward, and he got him in for a touchdown. The 215-pound junior is able to push it into the end zone to make it a 1-score game.
Well, the combo of Daniel Sams and Tyler Bolfing paying off right now for the Cowboys. Terrific conversion and good mix of run and pass. No one in this stadium can believe the scoreboard right now.
It is silent. You want to know what 87,000 people in one place sounds like when it's silent? It's this right now. Alex Jelston caps off the longest McNeese State drive of the day. 12 plays, 83 yards, 26 of them on this Sam's scramble to set up the touchdown, and the Cowboys are within 3.
ESPNU College Football All-State Saturday Kickoff, brought to you by Allstate. Are you in good hands?
87,000 and change. Actually, they had gotten up to about 91 with the official attendance today here at Memorial Stadium, but you got to imagine some uneasiness in a 3-point game. 6th-ranked FCS school McNeese State down 24-21. Still a lot of time, though. 13:45 for this 4th quarter. Freshman Pearson L from the 2-yard line. And he got grabbed and brought down shy of the 15. An outstanding drive a moment ago by the McNeese State Cowboys. 12 plays, 83 yards, their longest drive of the game. Sam's had a 26-yard run to set up the touchdown, and the video of that TD now posted on the SportsCenter app, available on your mobile devices and tablets whenever and wherever you need it.
Well, now the big question is, can Tommy Armstrong Jr. answer? This is a guy that has a lot of football under his belt as a freshman last year. This is his football team. Has to be his time right now.
1st and 10 from the 19-yard line. And Amir Abdullah has been stymied for the most part today. And Everett Ellefson is there for a TFL. Another negative play from this Nebraska offense against this McNeese State defense. Their 7th negative play today after none last week. Armstrong rolling left, and a low throw to Tariq Allen is snared at the 24-yard line. That'll set up 3rd and short, or 3rd and manageable here.
It's imperative right now Nebraska converts here on 3rd down to get this crowd back in it, but to get some rhythm on offense and stay on the football field.
3rd and 5. Roll in the pocket to the wide side again. Armstrong on the run for Allen, and incomplete, broken up by a diving Aaron Sam, who has had some kind of game on defense today.
There's that man again. They moved him from the buck position to the free safety position because he's not only a good tackler, but he's instinctive and he's around the football a lot. He's been around the football this entire afternoon.
21 in white is going to come flying in here.
That's the blur coming in white from the defensive secondary. Just a terrific game today for Sam.
And it's the first time that McNeese State on defense has been able to stop Nebraska after scoring a touchdown of their own. Sam Foltz got a leg on him, and he's going to force Nate Holmes towards the sideline. A backpedaling catch at the 23. On a 53-yard booming punt. He'll take it across the 35-yard line. We've got a game. McNeese down by 3, 13 to play here in Lincoln.
Matt Schick here in the studio. There's Mark Stoops walking down the street. He in Kentucky set to take on Ohio next on ESPNU. All Big Ten teams in action currently leading, except Purdue trailing big to Central Michigan and perhaps Nebraska momentarily, Adam.
Matty, we'll see. It's time for today's Game Track. It's brought to you by Taco Bell. It's been quite some day for McNeese State. The Aaron Sam pick 6 for a score tied it at 14. Just a 3-point game, and Amir Abdullah just 54 yards on the ground. Does have that short touchdown, but other than that, he's been stymied against a very quick, speedy, spunky McNeese State team, which has the football, hoping to drive and take the lead for the first time since the first quarter. And it is the transfer from Kansas State, Daniel Sams. First down from the 33-yard line. It's a reverse. Here comes Khalil Thomas. And he's across the 40 on a good run of about 9. Daniel Davey and Nate Gary on the stop. Second down and 1.
Trying to get playmakers in space. That's exactly what the Cowboys offense would like to do in this fourth quarter as we wind down, trying to make big plays to take this lead.
4 years ago, McNeese State played LSU tough for 2.5 quarters, and then the Tigers became the Tigers. Today, it's been a tight game throughout. Second down and 1. Here comes Derek Milton. Penalty marker is thrown from the defensive backfield. Sean Smith, our official.
During the run, holding, offense number 61. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay second down.
And that's Nick Gorman, the junior, who started every game at center last year. He's moved to guard this year to replace an All-American in Arenze Agadim. So instead of third and very short, it'll be second down at about 11.
And this is where you want to look for Daniel Sams to break contain and maybe attack the flat route again. That reverse pivot and get somebody in space quickly in the flat to the field.
That's what they're doing, moving the pocket. He's got Milton in the flat, and again, wide open with space. That's probably the third time we've seen that play with a chance to get yardage, and the pass is just misfired.
Perfect call, bad execution. I mean, this is exactly the matchup you want. Throw the football, don't sidearm it, get it out to him. Don't lose your mechanics when a guy's wide open.
And again, we said it, Sams actually had a pretty good completion rate when he was at Kansas State. So the penalty and now the missed pass there, the drop pass by Milton, sets up 3rd and 11.
If you're Nebraska, you don't want to over pursue the quarterback and give Sams lanes to run the football.
Pressure off the edge. Sams is forced into a running situation. Looking downfield, has to get rid of it with pressure coming. The freshman from Houston, Joshua Kalu. In on Sams to force that errant throw, and it brings up 4th down and a huge stand from this Nebraska defense.
They were relentless this time. They came off the edge, forced Sams up the middle, and as you said, Kalu was the guy that put the last hit out by the numbers. Good pursuit and good effort by the Nebraska defense.
So now, Jean Bro gets set to punt away once again. Pearson L has had a 25-yard return, the longest of his short Nebraska career. Grabs it at the 28, out at the 30. 40-yard punt. This is what the offenses have done so far today. We'll split it up by half for you between McNeese State and Nebraska. But Amir Abdullah, I would imagine you'd want to get him involved at some point. You know, you want to talk about a closer.
Yeah.
There's a lot of time. 11:20 is not closing time yet, but I want to talk about somebody who can really churn some clock. It's got to be Amir Abdullah right now.
It does, and you have to get him in space. This offensive line hasn't provided a whole lot of running room after the first couple of big runs of the first half.
So Tommy Armstrong Jr. and the Huskers set up shop at the 30-yard line. And Abdullah is in the backfield. They're going to pass. in cut. A nice play by Tariq Allen. Dive in and make the catch, but now it is ruled incomplete. Gabe Hamner had the coverage. Tariq Allen had to go reaching out for that one. Second down.
Has to be frustrating for offensive coordinator Tim Beck because he's trying to create plays, but no one's really executing with any consistency.
Here comes Terrell Newby, the sophomore. On second down, he picks up about 3.5. We'll bring up third down as we hit the 11-minute mark for the fourth quarter. There's the transfer from TCU, Jermaine Antoine from McNeese State.
We haven't heard Jordan Westerkamp's name lately. We've got to get him involved, you would think, if you're Nebraska.
He's going down the middle of the field. Instead, a deep shot for Allen, and incomplete. Gabe Hamner had the coverage that time. And Westerkamp was lined up in the slot and just took a pretty nice route down the middle of the field. Ended up going a little deeper, though, for Allen and the big play. Instead, fourth down. What are you seeing from Tommy Armstrong today, John, that has his passes just kind of wayward?
Well, you know what? There's been some inconsistency in the routes and in his footwork. That time he had a good platform. He planted and he stepped in and threw the football. He just missed him with his arm.
Line drive towards him. Look at this punt. That is an incredible punt by Fultz. And a dangerous play by Nate Holmes. Nearly ended up touching it and losing it. And instead, he's able to jump back on top of it. And Fultz continues to pin teams deep. Solid effort in the kicking game by Nebraska. Long field in front of McNeese State. Three-point game with 10.5 to play. McNeese State, its fifth drive inside its own 20. Long field in front of the sea of red, trying to come to life in Lincoln. Tyler Bolfing under center to start this Cowboys drive from the 5. Straight up the middle for Kelvin Bennett. Picking up 9 yards before Nate Gary came up with the stop. I asked you, John, during the break, what do they need here? You said, hey, you got to get one first down. They're close to it here.
That's it. That's the key right now for McNeese. One first down. They're 1 yard away. Get a little rhythm. Take the crowd back out of this football game because they've been quiet for most of the afternoon.
Bolfing made his first career start today. Daniel Sams has been mixed in nicely. Some long runs. Bolfing out there right now. 2nd and 1, and Bennett picks up the first down to the 23-yard line. It's been a nice even snap count between both of these quarterbacks. Tyler Bolfing right around 25 snaps, Daniel Sams 29 snaps.
And I think they're going to figure this out as the season goes along. You know, each guy has a strength, and they want to be able to utilize those strengths within the confines of what they do offensively.
There's a 22, 18-yard line here. 1st and 10, 9.5 to play in the 4th. Bolfing to throw, just a 4-man rush. Bolfing takes a shot for Hetrick, who reaches up and snares it. Makes the catch at the 45-yard line. The sophomore from Baton Rouge with just his 5th career catch.
Talk about climbing the ladder and taking it away. That's just a terrific job. He goes up over Nate Gary and snags the pass to get the football up to the 45-yard line.
He had 3 catches last year. 2 of them were for touchdowns. He's had 2 catches today. Had to replace a very good tight end and Nick Jacobs, the LSU transfer, who just signed with the Saints practice squad. First down from the 45-yard line. It's Bennett slipping for a yard to the 46. Jack Gangwish on the tackle. Made the start for the injured Randy Gregory, top 5 NFL prospect who will likely be back next week dealing with that knee issue. Gangwish in for Gregory right there. Blue-collar guy, had just one football offer from Shadron State here in Nebraska. He was a good high school wrestler. He was able to work his way up the depth chart here in Nebraska. 2nd and 9 for McNeese. Pressure being shown, a 5-man rush. Quick throw over the middle, and it's complete. Kelvin Bennett inside the 30 and dragged out of bounds. 33-yard pass play. Bolfing finds Bennett.
Bolfing poised in the pocket. He knew he may take a shot coming up the middle from David Santos, but was able to find an open receiver. And it was the running back, Kelvin Bennett.
Back to the ground. Bennett again. Forward progress for a couple to the 20-yard line. So we're approaching the halfway point of this 4th quarter, and McNeese State, which has put together some solid offensive drives at times today, has a chance to maybe take the lead.
Your mindset is right now as an offense is protect the football. You're in position to tie this game up now with 7:24 and counting. You may want to be able to take a shot for the end zone, but you have to be smart with the football.
They started this drive at their own 5. Now 2nd and 8 from the Nebraska 20. Derek Milton is the back. Bolfing rolling, dumping it off. This time Milton makes the catch and steps out of bounds at the 15-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd down. Santos ran him out of bounds. They'll need about 3 to move the chains.
I like the way Tim Leje, the offensive coordinator, is calling this series. Short, quick passes. Take a shot now or then. But this is the down that has plagued them. 3rd down. Only 4 of 14 on 3rd down. You have to find a way for Tyler Bolfing to try to convert right here.
Five-man pressure over the middle and complete for a 1st down to Shelby. 7-yard pickup, and it will set up 1st and goal from the 8-yard line. Boy, Tim Leje and Matt Viator, who often calls some plays on the offense, are putting it together on this drive.
Doing a great job of mixing and matching. They've been working the flat routes. Now they've come over the middle a couple times in this drive. And let's credit this offensive line. They've done an excellent job of keeping both quarterbacks upright and providing enough time to deliver plays on the last couple of drives.
Yeah, you see 170 yards on the last 2 touches offensively. 1st and goal from the 8 with a chance to jump out in front. Milton finds a hole. He's into the end zone, but there is a penalty marker back at the 9-yard line.
Look at formation. Offense, 5 men in the backfield. 5-yard penalty. We play 1st down.
Looked like they went unbalanced, but somebody has to cover on the outside. Here or here, somebody has to move up on the line of scrimmage.
Either McGilvery or Shelby has to cover him up on the end. So 1st and goal back to the 13 now.
Man, mark that play down.
Yeah.
When you're going back over this game.
Suddenly the emotion gets sucked out of you a little bit after that penalty. And see if McNeese can bounce back. See if Nebraska can take advantage. 1st and goal. Bolfing to throw. Over the middle for Celesti and incomplete. Zaire Anderson on the coverage. 2nd and goal. And you get that touchdown, all of a sudden we've got the lead in the 4th with 6 minutes to go, and then you take the touchdown off the board. Now you move back 5 yards. The emotion shifts in you a little bit.
Well, you put a little bit more pressure on yourself now too, because you feel like you've done enough to get into the end zone. Now you have to do it again. Remember, they've worn out the flat routes with the backs coming out. Wouldn't be shocked if they try it again. Get a linebacker on a running back to the short side.
Quarterback draw, Bolfing up the middle. We'll get some of that penalty yardage back, and then a late flag is thrown for the far sideline. Santos on the tackle after a 5-yard run. We'll have to check the marker.
Personal foul, face mask, defense during the run. Half the distance penalty, automatic, first down.
So inside the 5, they'll set up 1st and goal, and that Santos tackle is where the penalty occurred on Bolfing's run.
Well, you would expect Daniel Sams to run this play. It was unexpected to see Bolfing run it, but he ends up getting the face mask call at the end of that run anyway. It looked like Collins, Malik Collins, number 7, the guilty culprit.
Yeah, they called Santos. They called 41. It was Collins on the face mask, and it's 1st and goal for Tyler Bolfing and the Cowboys on the road in Lincoln. To give to Bennett. He picks up a couple to about the 2.5-yard line. Josh Banderas on the tackle. And now 5:35 to go, and that clock is starting to go in McNeese's favor a little bit.
Yeah, you know what? You take points off the board with the penalty, but this is probably playing into the hands of the Cowboys. They want to be able to milk this thing down as far as they can, take the lead, and then put the pressure on the Nebraska offense to score.
Jumbo set, 3 tight ends. Long is in there. He could be a candidate at fullback. Milton's the deep back. Play action, and that pass was deflected in the backfield by Nate Gary. And had he not gotten a fingertip on that, that would have been an easy touchdown for the junior Dylan Long. It'll bring up 3rd and goal, and Gary has made some huge plays today.
Great individual effort. Watch 25 in red. He's going to get up right there and get his hands on the football. Boy, that's Tyler's job as a quarterback. You have to raise up and get that football out there because there's nobody in the front corner of the end zone except a Cowboy waiting to catch a touchdown.
Well, some substitution issues right now for McNeese State. And with 5:04 to play, there will be the 2nd timeout used by Matt Viator's team in the 2nd half.
Adam, I wouldn't be shocked to really see Daniel Sams maybe come into the football game, get into that shotgun, and let the quarterback run off tackle.
Now here's the only question I would ask you in that particular scenario. If you bring Sams out there, if you're Nebraska, do you sell out on the run? Do you expect the run?
You sell out on the run.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely you do. But at least you have another option for this offense.
Now remember that this drive did have a touchdown as a result at one point for McNeese State. It was this play that ended in a touchdown that would have given McNeese State the lead on the Milton run, but there was a penalty on this play for illegal formation, which negated the touchdown. A Nebraska penalty gave a fresh set of downs inside the 5 to McNeese State, and now it's 3rd and goal for Bolfing, who will stay out there. Celesti on an island. Now he'll go in motion. Bolfing. Misdirection for Long, and he's hit in the backfield. Valentine in the backfield forces 4th and goal on a loss of 4. And does Bolfing stay out there, or is the kicking unit coming on? And it looks like Gelston is going to come on to try to tie this game.
Kind of confused by the call on 3rd down. It looked like scheme-wise they were going to be able to get outside. It was pure man-to-man coverage, and Nebraska's selling out on 3rd down.
25-yard try for Gelston, and he got it inside the right upright. And we are tied at 24 with 4:21 to play on the first field goal of Alex Gelston's career. But Nebraska gets the stop they need. John Papuchis' defense comes up big, holding McNeese to a field goal. Don't go anywhere. Tie game.
Coming up next, it's Kentucky and Ohio. There you see Braylon Hurd on the right. Former Nebraska transfer, not going to play today after 2 touchdowns last week, more than 100 yards. He's got an ankle injury. Tune in anyway, ESPNU. We're all watching now, Adam.
Whole country's watching, Matty. Tie game, 24-all. 19th ranked Nebraska against the 6th ranked team in the FCS. McNeese State looking for its first ever win over a power conference opponent. They've beaten an FBS team each of the last 2 years. 4:21 to play. What can Tommy Armstrong put together as Nebraska takes the ball? Amir Abdullah is back to return a kick. Hasn't done this much really since his freshman year. He takes it from the 4-yard line. And Amir Abdullah trying to set up good field position for the Cornhuskers. He's got him at the 36-yard line. So let's see what the redshirt sophomore has in store. And let's see if Abdullah can get going on offense after this great return.
Just a nice job of being able to run to daylight in special teams. You mentioned he hasn't done this in quite a while, but he looked pretty good at it.
So Abdullah on the ground today, just 54 yards on 17 carries. Imani Cross will start this drive as the back as Nebraska works from its own 37. Cross, powerful back with shifty moves. Takes it for about 2 into the arms of Deontay Thompson. 4 minutes to go. Hey, 4-minute offense. Tommy Armstrong, you're the man now. You've been in situations like this. He's been there before trying to put it together.
This is his team now. His mindset needs to be, we just need one drive. One drive that results in points. And let's do it right now.
And field goal range is pretty extensive for both Nebraska kickers. Quick comeback route. Catch is made by Sethan Carter, the tight end. His first catch of the day to the 45-yard line. Aaron Sam on the tackle. 3rd and 2 after that 5-yard gain, and there may be an injured Cowboy on the deck. And it looks like Sean Brown. Senior out of Baton Rouge is writhing around, playing in his 22nd game as a McNeese State Cowboy.
Can't say enough about the effort from McNeese today. They've done an excellent job in all 3 phases.
The training staff will tend to Sean Brown. And Nebraska and McNeese State squaring off for just the 2nd time ever. First time since 2002. It was here in Lincoln, Nebraska. And it started out pretty impressive for the Cowboys. They forced a 4-and-out on Nebraska's opening drive of the game and then came down and took the lead. The Milton 9-yard touchdown run, it was 7-0. Jordan Westerkamp on a 40-yard catch tied the game. Short run for Amir Abdullah got him out 14-7. This 98-yard pick six from Aaron Sam made it a 14-14 game. And that really, I think, made McNeese State feel like they're here for the long haul. Big run by Tommy Armstrong Jr. helped set up a touchdown for the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Daniel Sam's long run set up a touchdown for McNeese State. And this huge play forcing McNeese into a field goal kept it at 24-24 instead of the Cowboys having the lead. And that's why just a field goal could win it for Nebraska, which has never lost to an FCS school. On 3rd and 2, Armstrong running out of time, running out of room. Westerkamp's open downfield. He makes the catch inside the 20. There is a penalty marker down back near midfield.
An eligible man downfield, offense number 68, 5-yard penalty. We play 3rd down.
What a shift in momentum in the last minute. A 41-yard pass play is negated due to this penalty.
Jake Cotton's going to be the one that gets called for downfield. There he is right here. He's clearly downfield about 5 or 8 yards, but what a play.
Wow.
First of all, by Armstrong, and then the catch. Westerkamp looked like a center fielder to have the presence to turn his body and catch the football. They need to call number 1's number a little bit more here with 3:07 left to go.
He's one of the 3 receivers on the wide side. Nebraska just 3 of 11 on 3rd down after 8 of 12 last week. 3rd down and 7. Armstrong downfield again and incomplete. Looking for Alonzo Moore. Gabe Hamner had the coverage, and I wonder if they might rule that an uncatchable ball because that was kind of wide of Moore.
There was some contact going downfield, but Hamner did a good job of running with the receiver, and Armstrong looked like he had his receiver Jordan Westerkamp down the middle again, but nice pressure from Wallace Scott in that linebacker position. There was some contact.
So now McNeese State will get the ball back. Foltz trying to pin him deep as he's done a lot today. Sending Holmes back to the 11, and he gets hammered immediately. What a play in special teams by Joshua Kalu. He's made a couple of big-time plays today on defense and now in special teams. A 50-yard kick by Foltz. So the 6th time that McNeese State will have the ball inside its own 20 to start a drive. We've seen them get out of there a couple of times, including the last drive where they took it down for a field goal. And guess what? 1 timeout, 2:40 to go. McNeese State with Tyler Bolfing at QB has got a shot, Johnny.
They do. They have a shot. Now, the first things are first. You have to get a first down. Nebraska has 3 timeouts remaining, so you want to be able to move the chains right now.
On first down, it'll be Kelvin Bennett right up the middle for just about 2 yards or so. Jack Gangwish had the stop. We approach 2.5 to play. McNeese State has beaten an FBS team back-to-back years, but has never beaten an opponent the likes of a Nebraska. Never has beaten a power conference team. They've come close twice against North Carolina, and then for 2.5 quarters played LSU tough. 2nd down and 9 at their own 11-yard line. Bolfing has 4 in the pattern. He'll throw out into the flat, and a diving play by Bennett to try to hold on to it. It will be a completion for a few yards, and it brings up 3rd down. And does Nebraska use a timeout here?
It doesn't look like it.
Okay. They've got all 3 to work with. It'll be 3rd and 6.
Boy, and that was exactly what McNeese State wanted. They had man-to-man coverage on the outside. If you could hit your running back in stride, he may be still running down the sidelines.
.90 seconds left. Bolfing on 3rd down to throw. It's caught over the middle, but short of the first down marker.
Now you need a timeout.
Now you use a timeout. Dylan Long on the catch, and with 1:21 to play, Nebraska should use one of its 3 timeouts here. And they will, and Bo Pelini's team will likely get the ball back.
Terrific defensive stand by Nebraska there. Special teams pin them back inside the 10-yard line, and then it looks like a 3-and-out by the defense.
Well, if you're just joining us, a wild one. 19th ranked Nebraska, 10-0 all-time against FCS teams, coming off a Big Ten record-setting day offensively last week, taking on the 6th ranked FCS team in the country, McNeese State, in their season opener. Adam Amin, John Congemi at Memorial Stadium in Lincoln, Nebraska. 4th and 3. And Jean Bro will have to punt this away for McNeese State. And the freshman, DeMornay Pearson L, is back to return for the Huskers. He's had a couple of good returns today. Bro going to the sidelines. 45-yard punt, fair catch signaled by Pearson L. So now you just got to get into field goal range if you're Tommy Armstrong. His kickers, both Drew Brown and Moro Bondi, have both hit 55-plus yard field goals in practice. You get to about the 35, you're in range, but probably want to make it a little more safe than that, but they've got range.
You're feeling good if you do that. And the first things Tommy Armstrong Jr. needs to do right now is get those guys in the huddle on the sidelines, bring them out and say, listen, we haven't been all that consistent today, but now's the time to do it. Let's put one drive together that ends in an opportunity to win this game.
From the 38, Armstrong, pressure coming, he lost the football, and it's picked up by Mike Mouty of Nebraska. The right guard was able to get his hands on it. Dominique Hill, one of those defensive backs, came in and knocked that ball out of the arms of Armstrong, and a timeout is called.
Hill did an excellent job getting around Zach Stirrup, the right tackle. And Nebraska's very lucky that Mo D was able to get on the football, because that would have been a huge turnover. Great field position opportunity for McNeese State.
Sterup with leg injury kept him out of the opener last week. The 320-pounder got beat by the 177-pound true freshman, getting into the backfield and forcing that ball out of the arm of Armstrong. So the Huskers have to use a timeout with 1:03 to play, and 2nd and 12 coming up.
Well, that's the thing that's costly. I mean, you get the football back, but you have to waste another timeout.
Right.
So you've got one remaining, 1:03, and you lose about 3 yards on the first down opportunity.
Abdullah is the pistol back, now shifts over to Armstrong's right. From the 36, pressure off the edge, and Armstrong takes off up the middle to the 41. Tackled by Hine. Nebraska may not use a timeout here. Try to get one more play off. Try to move the chains. Remember, clocks will stop on a first down to set the ball.
I think you need to look at Jordan Westerkamp in this position in the slot. Go to your guy you trust in this situation.
He's been phenomenal. Just a 4-man rush. Armstrong to the sideline. Here he comes, Abdullah.
Wow.
And Abdullah still on his feet. Westerkamp throws a block. Amir Abdullah all the way home. Touchdown, Nebraska.
What an unbelievable individual effort by the senior from Homewood, Alabama.
Westerkamp through the final block. He was shaken up after the play. He sacrificed himself to spring Abdullah for those final yards.
You think Abdullah was going to let his team down or let him go down this way? Just a great individual effort, breaking multiple tackles, keeping his balance, and then finding daylight and using that speed to get into the end zone.
"58-yard catch and bounce and surge and speed and run for Abdullah to get Nebraska on top with 20 seconds to go. Coming off a career-high 232 rushing yards, had just 54 today on the ground. So, all right, I'll just get 58 through the air in my feet.
And it was just an individual effort. That time the over pursuit and the team speed defensively cost McNeese State. They overran Abdullah in the flat, and he was able to break multiple tackles and then find daylight, use his speed to get into the end zone. Look, the two jerseys go outside. There's actually 3 jerseys outside the numbers. You break a couple tackles, there's not many left. Just a terrific individual effort by a guy that's going to be on everybody's Heisman candidate list.
If he wasn't already, he better be now.
He's going to be.
Moro Bondi has been excellent on kickoffs.
Nebraska, it's been feast or famine for them.
That was
their 4th play of 30-plus yards today.
Touchdowns now available on your SportsCenter app. The 58-yard touchdown reception. And Nebraska might just survive this scare from McNeese State. Bondi will try to get it to the back of the end zone. Won't get there. Nate Holmes from the goal line. Needs a big return. The FBS transfer is down at the 24. 14 seconds left. Let's take a look at today's Good Hands play. It's brought to you by Allstate. Man, I'm glad we waited 14 minutes and 40 seconds in the 4th to make this call.
Unbelievable individual effort by Amir Abdullah. Good pass in the flat, but not only does he make people miss, he shows the toughness and the balance to continue on his feet, find daylight, and then scamper, race into the end zone. He had a huge afternoon last week on the ground. Today, 158-yard catch might have saved Nebraska's season.
Last chance for McNeese State with one timeout and a long field in front. Bolfing rolling left, throwing to the sideline and incomplete. Looking for Celesti. It'll be second down, and really you're in Hail Mary territory at this point.
Let's credit those guys from Louisiana. McNeese State has done an excellent job today of competing in all three phases.
No doubt.
They've done it offensively. They've been tenacious defensively. Special teams they've held up.
But, John, you know the play that's going to stick out in my mind?
The penalty.
The penalty that negated the touchdown, and that third down call for Dylan Long that Nebraska stuffed to force a field goal. Bolfing rolling left. He's going to heave it downfield, and that'll do it. Corey Cooper closes it out for the Huskers, who survive a scare from McNeese State here in Lincoln. What an effort from Matt Viator's team today. They've beaten an FBS team each of the last 2 years. They came ever so close today. But Amir Abdullah, after being stymied for a good portion of this ball game, came up with one of the highlight reel plays that you're going to see in the first 2 weekends of college football. An incredible individual effort on a 58-yard catch and run to put Nebraska on top with 20 seconds to go. What a game.
It was awesome. It was fun to be a part of this game, and you can hold individual athletes down for a long time, but at some point you're going to have to make a play, and it looked like Amir Abdullah took a simpler pass play, a flat pass, used some toughness, used his balance, and used his will to get into the end zone to win this football game.
McNeese State came to Lincoln in 2002. Matt Viator was the offensive coordinator. He said the crowd here, the atmosphere here was so pleasant. They're so respectful, and it's the same thing today. 12 years later, this Nebraska crowd shows its appreciation for McNeese State putting up a fight. But Amir Abdullah, the hero, on the final offensive touch of the game for the Nebraska Cornhuskers, this touchdown of 58 yards gave them the win, 31-24. Ohio and Kentucky are coming up. For John Kangemi, our great crew in Lincoln, Adam Amin saying so long. For now, back to the studio, Matt Schick and Kevin Carter.